Yo, you know what it is, right? My name is Kingpen. We spell that K-I-N-G-P-E-N, Mr. Grandma Penright. Nice. If you know a girl want to get wet, I got a cup of water. These hoes need to hydrate, and I got a tad bit of advice. Go get a job. All right? What's your name, sir?
Yes, indeed. It's your boy, C-R-U-X. We pronounce that Crux, the problem, the turning point, / the solution. And we are here at the Kingpen Crux Show, my radio Chicago. Let's get it in.
You already know. And we have, before we introduce our special guest, we have someone new. Someone new on the show. Not new to my radio Chicago.
No.
Or the world of radio.
Exactly.
It's BB Trinette, and she has a new record name. It's Queenpen.
All right.
It's going down.
Queenpen.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it.
Amazing.
Love it.
We're going to come out with clothing and everything.
This is happening.
It's happening. It's a real thing.
It's
a real thing. It's a real thing. Also, and then look, you're going to have to like really introduce yourself. You know how I come on. You know what I'm saying? The only reason I spell my name is because people keep putting it with the I. And
I put it with an I for a minute.
You have to stop.
Okay. I stopped as soon as you...
Uncapalicious.
And I was like, aha. See what
he said, aha. Yeah. Coming to America. Shout out to them. All right. So we have a special guest.
Yes, indeed. We definitely have a special guest. And I want to make sure that I give this brother here his full accolades. If I miss something, let me know.
All right.
But radio personality / MC / producer / engineer, owned his own studios throughout the years, has been in the game for a while, and also currently a personality on Windy City Underground, award-winning Windy City Underground. Let's give it up for LX, the one in the building.
Yeah, already, baby. It's going down. So we have multiple lives. Make sure you guys go to the Kingpen Crux Show on YouTube. Also, our group page, we're blasting off in there. And we also have another live going on. LX, the one.
Yes, indeed.
So this is amazing.
Hey, man.
Simultaneously. Is that expeditiously?
Expeditiously.
Only in America.
Only in America. Yeah, my man. You know I love that right there. And now look, we don't have to coach this guy. We don't have to coach him at all. He's in radio.
How great is that?
He does this.
Awesome.
It's a very amazing thing. All right. And then also the Queenpen over there. Yeah, she's also in radio.
I am.
Wow. Are you a graduate of the Illinois Media School?
Yes.
All right.
Wow.
Not only I am an alum, I'm also a former employee.
Oh wow. Hold on. So this show is very that is very loud.
Isn't it lovely?
Yes, very. So Jesus H. Lamont. All right. So yeah. This Jesus H. Lamont.
No, but I can't.
We gonna make it happen. Don't even worry about it. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna hand the reins over to the homie Crux because he has the interview of interviews that's about to happen.
Absolutely, man. First and foremost,
right.
How you feeling today, my brother?
Man,
Alex,
bro, I'm feeling really good. Really quickly, this is Alex, the one getting it done. Yo, Latino extraordinaire, radio personality at WindyCityUnderground.com, winner of the 312 Music Awards.
Yeah.
My radio Chicago, salute to the big homie Crux. Been knowing this man for a long time. Worked on many different projects, multiple interviews, and now the shoe's on the other foot because in the past I've interviewed Crux along with Magnificent.
Yep.
And now he has an opportunity
Shout out, Mag.
to interview me, which kind of feels a little weird.
It does.
It feels a little weird, man. But as soon as I saw that champagne, I felt a little better.
Right.
You know, my nerves came to eat.
Shout out to Bel Air.
Hey, man. Shout out to Bel Air. We definitely going to be popping that soon. Oh, man. So, want to dive in?
Let's dive in.
Okay.
Let's go.
First things first, I understand that you're not only a radio personality at Windy City Underground, that you're also a radio board operator at 2 other radio companies.
That's correct.
Tell us about that.
Man, that was a beautiful opportunity I had as soon as I graduated from IMS. Shouts out to Illinois Media School. Yup.
IMS.
Gave me all the training I needed. Right before I graduated, I was on the job hunts. Went on applied to several different positions, and finally I got somebody to call me back, and they scheduled an interview, and I said, yes, I'm available. What do you need me to do? And you need me to push some buttons? Of course I'll push some buttons. No problem.
No problem.
No problem. And I was very fortunate. Started off as a fill-in guy for Newsweb Radio, which is 2 AM radio stations and 1 FM radio station, which they really focus on brokers. So anybody who wants to have their own radio station, they're able to book some time, and that's how they get that. We do have another FM station, which is huge. It's Polsky, and then at night it's in this Dance Factory, where they play nothing but dance music. And I'm also a board operator at WCPT 820 AM, board operator for Santita Jackson. In case you guys don't know who that is, that is Jesse Jackson's daughter.
Okay.
Yep. So I do that.
Shout out to Jesse Jackson.
That's right. Salute to Jesse for sure.
Yes.
Shout out to that Bel Air.
That's right. And the list goes on and on and on. I've been blessed with many more opportunities. Got to learn every day. I learned something new. And at WindyCityUnderground.com, that was my stomping grounds. That is where I got my day one. And this is just the beginning.
Wow, that is amazing. So, man, say the least, you're a very busy guy. And you are a man of many hats in the industry here.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. We'll just pass that to the left, man.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And that leads me to my next question. I remember when I first met you, you were a rapper by the name of Omega.
That's right. Many moons ago. Yeah, many moons ago. Just for clarification, I am retired.
Okay.
I traded one mic for another, and I was Omega. I started rapping early 2000s, even really earlier than that, back in the mid 90s. But the first time I actually recorded a track under the name Omega, I was early 20s, early 2000s. And, it's been a roller coaster, man. I got a chance to meet many great people, got to share the mic with many dope MCs, got to do many shows, we got all of that stuff. I don't want to, get ahead of myself because I know you got some questions for me, man. But I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. So that right there, man, is excellent because it lays out the time frame. So, is there any origin to your name, or was it anything that you specifically chose on purpose? Or?
Yeah, you know what? There is no origin to the name. I think every MC at one point or another, we have to sit down and figure out what we're going to call ourselves. And sometimes we'll call ourselves 50 different names before we pick one, right? I didn't have time to do all that. I said, I'm just going to pick a name and I'm just going to stick to it, right?
Right.
And the reason I chose Omega, I spell it a little different. It's O with a dash or hyphen, whatever you want to call it, /mega, I thought it sounded big. Like a big name, a name that people won't have. People are going to recognize right away. And I just kind of went with it. However, later on, if I could fast forward to now and I could talk to my younger self, I tell myself not to do that. And I'll get into that later on. But but there's definitely a learning experience for anybody who's an MC out there trying to figure out your name. Try to be unique, try to be different. Right. Because at the end of the day, that's what stands out, your name. So I'll just leave it at that.
Definitely. A lot comes with the name. I mean, that does make a big difference in how people perceive you and things of that nature.
Right.
And I remember, man, and shout out to you. You say you retired now, but you were definitely a dope MC.
Oh, thank you, bro. Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
I was trying to be like Crux, man. That's what it was. I was trying to be like Crux, man. You know what I'm saying?
My man.
Yep.
Man, so back in those earlier stages of your career, how and when did you start working and who did you record with?
Oh, man. Well, when I first started, I actually started with a bunch of local producers. And it was just funny because I had known them before, but I never knew they did music and they never knew I rap. You know what I'm saying? We just kind of knew each other from back in the day. I used to be in a car club, right? Back when the lowriders were cool, you know what I'm saying?
I remember those car clubs back in the day.
And he used to always be around the club. So one time there was a party, and of course people used to freestyle back in the days, you know, after some drinks and other paraphernalia, you know what I'm saying? And they used to come get me, be like, hey man, they're freestyling in the circle. I used to be like, all right, cool. So he overheard me, and we started talking. And he's like, yo, I produce beats. And I was like, oh, really? I'm looking for a producer. You know, what a coincidence.
What a coincidence right there.
Right? Only in America. And
only in America.
And so I said, cool, man. We exchanged information. I got to go there. And my first producers really were learning themselves. But me, the type of person I am, is I quickly soaked it all up. I used to come to the studio with a notepad, and people thought it was to write lyrics, and it wasn't. It was to see how they do it. What equipment they're using, what buttons are they pressing, how they do this, how they do that, right? And there came a point in my career where I was like, you know what? I really don't like depending on people. I like to put my destiny in my own hands. So I just said one day, I'm going to figure it out, build my own studio, go from there. And I just got a chance to work with my artists, some other artists, man, you name it.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So I understand that you started your own record label called Elite Tactics.
Yes.
Yes. How and when did that come to fruition?
So that kind of came about when again, I had mentioned I was working with other producers at that time, but it was time to, you know, to move forward. Like I said, I wanted to kind of take my own career into my own hands. And my compadre, shouts out to the chemist, we got together one day on some drunk stuff, and we were like, you know, I want to do this. You wanted to be like a DJ with the turntables, and I was like, you know, I want to produce. So like, hey, you know, it's like the peanut butter mixed into the chocolate, you know, like, well, it will go good together, right?
You got a Reese cup now.
Right. So we just decided one day to create our own studio, and it just started from scratch, man. And we just came up with the name. I think I wanted to call it Elite Squad, and he wanted to call it Ill Tactics.
Yeah, I remember because it was
that's a dope name too.
It was a lot of y'all together, man, under that Elite Tactics umbrella.
That's
you know what I'm saying? And, on the northwest side of the city. You know, I remember, and that was in the MySpace days. Yeah,
salute to Tom, MySpace. Salute to you, boy, because man,
Tom, man, a lot of great people come together.
Yeah,
yes,
like us right now.
I mean, at the same time, I mean, and we talk about that a lot, like 06, you know, that era, like a lot of, you know, we call it the 06 class because that's kind of like when a lot of us, you know, came across each other in that time frame, 06, 07, maybe, you know, 09-ish. But man, that'll bring back memories. So also, kind of got a little bit of confused here with my cards.
It's all good. Hey, it's all good. We're gonna keep things moving. It is nothing right here, because when Crux brings out the cards, it's a major problem for you guys in radio land. Major problem.
So through trial and error, you became a recording engineer. Would you say that helped with your current role as a board operator?
Oh, absolutely. Trial and error, more error than anything else. And I think in this industry, in this business, it's okay to make mistakes because that's how you learn. I think of a quote that Michael Jordan said, is that he shot X amount of game-winning points and missed. But people don't talk about those. They only talk about the ones he made.
Exactly.
But he says if he didn't miss all those shots, he wouldn't have made all those shots. So through trial and error, one day I tried this to do a beat this kind of way, and that didn't work. But that taught me, you know, this sounds good over here, and vice versa. Now, did that carry over to the board opping? Absolutely, because I got a chance to work with various different mixing boards, different softwares, and radio is pretty much like a watered down version of like maybe recording engineer. So yeah, it definitely helped. When I came in there, I was a little bit more prepared than the other people because I had a better understanding of what the buttons do, you know, how to move it, how to work this over here, what triggers that, what animation to use in certain softwares. So I was definitely a little bit ahead of the curve, and I was very fortunate. I was recording at this one studio, man, national studio. Salute to Abe. Abe, if you ever, man, that dude was amazing.
Man, I remember that name.
Abe, he was the recording engineer for Juvenile whenever he came out here. He did Bump J. He did most of Bump J stuff.
Shout out to Bump J right there.
Quavo, if you guys remember Quavo.
Yeah, definitely.
In the studio too. Man, and he was actually very patient with me because we work good together. And I used to always ask him, that's just me. I always ask questions. What does this do? What does that do?
Right.
And I used to tell him to do this. And he'd be like, I'm going to explain it to me. How does that work? Again, jotting it down in my notebook, right? You know what I'm saying? Right. So every once in a while, he would just leave me behind the board and be like, I got somebody coming in. I'm going to be in the bathroom for I don't know, whatever. It took a long time. Hey, go ahead and record them, right? All right, cool.
Cool.
So, you know, he kind of gave me a free, you know, I just kind of figured it out. And that definitely helped one day when I started building my own recording studio, because I will tell you this, the studios that I recorded at, National Studios and Studio Chicago, $50 an hour. And we used to book 12 hours sessions every weekend.
Wow.
It gets expensive.
Very much.
So all that money that we spent at that studio, mind you, we pay for quality though. Top-notch engineers, top-notch studios, top-notch equipment. Right. All that money we spent, we said, you know what? Maybe we need to invest in ourselves if we already kind of have an idea of what we're doing.
Yeah.
Let's figure out what equipment we need to record and whatever, you know, just make it sound as to professional, right? You know? And then just kind of go from there. And that's what we did.
Oh, wow, man. That's amazing. Just taking the initiative and having a team at that moment to explore and learn off each other. And like I said, make dope music that was quality, you know what I'm saying? Because anybody could go in the basement and put a microphone up and, you know, when you
for $199, you can go out musician friend right now and be a recording producer, engineer overnight.
Overnight.
Yes.
Smith,
I don't recommend it, but anybody can do it.
You said I don't recommend it.
Not everybody's meant to wear that hat. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. So let's dive into it. Your album, the John Doe.
That's right.
With excellent production and exceptional lyricism,
right,
did very well and opened up a lot of doors for you, including working with Cuban Link of Terror Squad at that time, being interviewed on several platforms, and also featured on the Chicago documentary.
Yes. Shouts out to Jeff.
Oh yeah, what's up, Jeff?
Yep.
Please tell us how you were you feeling at this point in your career?
Well, you know what? I think Crux, you can relate. Your very first album, no matter what, that's always your baby.
Yes, absolutely.
You can make 100 doper albums after that, but that first one, yeah, it holds a special place. And that's what it was, man. It took me like 5 years to make that album.
Wow.
5 years. And I'll tell you why. Again, I was recording with the previous producers, and I was able to purchase a few of their beats, and I took them over. But when the chemist and I decided to start Elite Tactics and build our own studio, it was really to kind of to learn how to make beats, and that doesn't happen overnight, man. I made 100 booty disgust. I mean, it just sounded whack, bro. Booty whack beats before I made one decent one. I'm not even talking about good. I'm talking about decent. Trial and error. Just okay. That sounds like crap. This bass don't mix with that kick. You know, the snare sounds too thin. The bass sounds weird. It's too low. A lot of trial and error. So I took a couple years really to kind of figure out how to be a music producer and try to figure out what kind of music producer I wanted to be.
Definitely, so, like your signature sound.
Right. It took a little, I don't even think still to this day, I think I have a better idea of what that sound is. But back then it was just like, I like hip hop. I like the East Coast feel. I love the West Coast sound, the synths and all that. Chicago got its own sound. So I'm trying to manipulate that all in one pot, right? And just trial and error. So that's why it took a little longer, 5 years to make. But the point I was trying to make on that album was, look, I was influenced by a lot of cats in Chicago. Salute to Juice. His rhyme style, Twista. Salute to Twista. A lot of East Coast legends like Nas, Big Pun, super lyricism, right? So I was a big student of that, and I would always try to make sure that my verses sounded better than my beats. But at the same time, the beats couldn't underperform either. It had to complement the lyrics.
Right.
So yeah, man, it was a lot of fun having that happen. And after that album was finished finally, right? And we did it bootleg as hell. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I printed the CDs in someone else's computer, sat there for like 12 hours, just, you know what I'm saying?
12 hours.
One tray.
One tray.
That's it.
Yo, when I first started with the one tray.
One tray.
I burnt that. I did so many CDs that I burnt it out, right? So then I got another one, and then I got the external, the big old fat external joint. And then shout out to Maurice right there. He was like, yo, you have to stop this. This is ludicrous. You really have to stop this. So I went and got a three tray.
Oh, you had to. You had to.
And I burnt that out.
Oh yeah.
No, I was going through boxes.
I believe you.
This is a real thing. So when you said that, you just excited me over here. When you said,
I know.
I wasn't the only one.
Pause a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, when you said that right there, I can definitely know. Watching the paint dry is what it is. With the one tray, the one tray. And again, I went through so many boxes, I burnt it out. It just.
I think I was able to do like 200 CDs with the one tray. And so I had to say, I have to hire somebody who has multiple trays.
Yes.
So I did the bootleg thing. I went on some website and I got like a X amount of blank CDs, gave him the CDs, gave him the master, burnt them all down. And even more ghetto at that time, I was doing printing. I went and started printing all the covers. I did every. It was like an assembly line in my basement.
Yes. No, I already know.
Yep, the whole nine and hand to hands.
I went to IQs. That's why I started getting the boxes of CDs and burning them myself. And then with the printing, I was like, yo, I'm not going to be paying anybody to print anything. So, I went to some of the places where you print at. I'm one of the reasons why they start putting the machines in. And you gotta. I stand to be one of the reasons because I was doing big old stacks and just be like, oh, nobody, thanks. And I just leave. And then I got real cool with somebody and got them to print me posters. You befriend a couple people.
Oh, absolutely. I was printing my own posters, man. I had them all over the place, man. Everywhere I went.
And you know what I did? I got the can adhesive.
Okay.
So I was spraying everything. Everything. You thought I was a handyman or something.
Man, times have changed since then. I mean, you don't see that too often no more, though. It's like a lost art,
A lost art, and it is good that it's lost. And I'll tell you why. When we were building all those CDs in my basement assembly line, sometimes we'd sell a CD to somebody, and they'd open up the tray, and there'd be no CD in the tray. When you hire ghetto homies, you know what I'm saying, to put everything together while we smoking and drinking and doing all that, CD is gonna miss the cases too,
Yo, that's why I fired my family. Because I would print it up and then I'm cutting myself and placing it in the plastic with the CD and all that, right? So, I'm looking over and they got the jagged edges and I'm like, no, you can't do that. Like if I was to bring them on the show right now, they'd be like, man, I'm leaving. Don't you ever bring that up again? Because I was a tyrant.
Oh, yeah. You have to be.
Like, you have to cut this up right. Like, what are you doing? So I fired them. It's either I fired them or they quit. I don't know.
Probably both.
Yeah.
You can't fire me. I quit.
You know what I'm saying?
So the Chicago hip hop documentary.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Yeah, I remember that was like the first hip hop movie that I seen someone create about this underground that we have here. I don't like to really say like underground. I like to say independent artists, but for lack of better terms.
So the best way that Jeff is the director, by the way, that he described the movie. He said, picture like basketball, right? At the very top, you have your NBA players, right? Which would be like your successful rappers, like the Nas's, the Puff Daddies, the Tupacs, the Dr. Dre's, the Snoop Dogg's. And then we have the indie scene, right? Which is like college players in basketball, right? They're hungry. They have an opportunity to make it to the NBA one day, but they still have to work. But they release albums and they're sometimes very successful. You know what I'm saying? They tour. And then you have the independent underground, or what you would call street ball players. People that play in the streets are sometimes the nicest ones, right?
Yeah.
And they know it's a 1 in a million shot for them to make it one day. That doesn't stop them. That they keep going forward. And I salute to Jeff because he went everywhere in the city, to every club, every performance. If they invited him, he was there with his camera. And he stood out. Yeah, I thought at first I was like, man, he working with the people, man. He's defense or whatever.
Police or something.
Right, son. But nah, he was legit, man. And we had a conversation one day. He asked me my opinion, and we worked very closely together. Not together, but like when he put it all together, he would ask me for some feedback, and I would tell him, I think this is cool here, this is cool there. Got to see the film before, and there was something incredible because a lot of times in the city they said that could never be done.
Yeah. Yeah.
That could never
to
be
go
done.
to all those different neighborhoods and different shows across, it's just a lot of different.
Well, I'm sure, Crux, you've heard this being in the industry for a long time. They say, well, I don't know about now, but back then they said Chicago's full of haters, man.
Yeah.
We're like crabs in a barrel. Nobody wants to see the one crab come up.
They still say that.
They still say that, right? So they said, nah, that can't be done because there's so much hatred amongst MCs. Everybody wants to be the first one on top. Nobody wants to help other people out. But what that film actually did was prove the opposite.
Yeah, it did.
It proved the opposite because you saw camps that would never normally get together, start working with each other. You know what I'm saying? And when that film premiere kicked off, they did it up north by the Six Corners.
Yeah, I remember I was at the premiere.
At the premiere. I forget the name of the theater, but go ahead.
Yeah, it felt like, it felt monumental. And I think what year was this? Probably about 2008 or 9?
Something like that, around that time.
So.
And what was beautiful is all the artists like yourself and myself and everybody else walked in there. We were stars.
Yeah. Yeah,
we were stars, man. For that night, I felt like a somebody.
Right.
I am a somebody.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, had the DVD and everything. So, man, shout out to Jeff.
Shout out to
like
Jeff,
you said, people thought he was the feds. You saw a white dude with a camera with some glasses. He's a hip hop police or something. But nah, man, it was a stand-up guy that put together.
Stand-up guy. He actually invited me to his house, like I said, and said, "Look, here's the film. I'm gonna show it to you before it's released." And I was like, "Yeah." Like, it's one thing like being filmed. It's another thing like when you see yourself on TV on the big screen. I was like, "Oh my God, that's me." I was like, "Man, I should have wore a different hat that day."
Right.
I shouldn't have said
I was gonna say, you start critiquing yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Do you still talk? To you?
For a long time. After that, we worked still together. He filmed a couple of my commercials that I was promoting for my sophomore album, which is ALX at that time. That's where I hooked up with Cuban Link, and we still kind of were connected. He had a couple film festivals, but things happen in life. People grow up, and just different paths. And when I was trying to look out for him again, the word around the campfire is he moved to South Africa.
Wow.
So I mean,
man,
yeah.
that's
so I don't know.
Well, that's cool.
It is awesome. Well, he wasn't from. He was from. Man, he was from Idaho or. Oh, that's it right there.
Oh yeah.
So, man,
Mr. Diggins.
That's a young me right there, man. That's a whole different person right there.
No, I can tell. I can actually tell.
Yep.
Yeah. Like that guy. That
guy.
guy.
A little muscular, and I'm like Oscar.
What is that? When you get older, like you start losing weight, like it's terrible. You know what I mean? I used to be so much bigger.
Man, that brings back memories. Just seeing this video right here.
It has to.
Yes.
It has to. It has to.
So man, Cuban Link.
Yeah.
Your sophomore project working with Cuban Link.
Cuba.
Shout out to Cuba. Shout out to Terror Squad. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know if you would want those two phrases in the same sentence.
Okay. Wait.
Yeah. So
in hip hop news.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So once upon a time, Cuban Link was part of Terror Squad. This is when Big Pun was first signed to Terror Squad. He wanted to bring his crew with him, which was called Full Eclipse. And part of the deal was like, okay, I'll come to Terror Squad, but I got to make sure I bring my peoples with me. So Cuban Link was his best friend, among others, and he was super nice. And they were rapping. After Pun died, fast forward, he had fallen out with Fat Joe. So Cuban Link went independent. He started, I think, MOB, and then I'm not sure what his label is currently, but he still continued to do music. At that time, it was Big Pun had a documentary, and in this documentary was this individual promoter by the name of Big Earl. Now, Big Earl, he was from New York, but then he moved out to Florida. And through the beauty of social media and promotions, like you just saw some of the commercials, and I was just like, I don't know if you remember MySpace. I don't know if you remember MySpace.
Sure do.
Yeah.
So on your main page, you can leave a comment.
Yep.
And I would make sure to put on everybody's page the biggest picture that would take over your whole page in the comment, right? So you go to anybody's page, the first thing you see, I used to bump into people and be like, oh, you're that guy from MySpace, right? Because you're always in everybody's comments.
Exactly.
So anyways, I don't know if that's how he found me or through whatever, but he reached out to me and he said, look, man, I got this opportunity for you to work with Cuban Link. Let me know if you're interested. And I've heard stuff like that all the time. Oh, really? Okay, cool. Show me some proof.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he did.
Wow.
And he did. And yeah, we talked back and forth, and I sent him some beats, and he liked one or two, and I had already written for all of them. And we talked on the phone, and I'm like, okay, well, let me spit you this beat, the verse for this beat and this beat. He's like, all right, cool. I already know what I'm gonna do. And like within the next week, I had the recording, everything set to go. We was at National Studios putting it in. And salute to Abe, because he really made that song. Like, he put effort in there. Like, when you put effort in something, you know what I'm saying?
It shows.
It shows. It shows, man. So yeah, but salute to Cuba, because he didn't have to do that. And but he did, man. And I was very grateful for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Shout out to Cuban Link. It's always dope when you get to work with, people that you listen to or come up, a fan of their work. So I know that's a great feeling that you had there. As co-founder and CEO of Elite Tactics, how many complete projects did you release?
Wow. So I think we could have released a lot more content. In the vaults, we have another, I'm not even lying to you, like another, at least another 5, 6, 7, maybe even 10 albums if I stretch it out.
Worth of songs that haven't made the project.
Just songs that either weren't released because the artist didn't like them for whatever reason, or maybe the artist didn't finish it. Maybe there's a verse or two in there, or maybe when we were mixing it down, the bass was too loud or too low, or whatever, technical issues, right? But if I wanted to today, I can pop out three albums back to back. So you asked me how many albums. It was my first one, which is the John Doe. Then we came out with a compilation album called The Sampler. Came out with the ALX. Roman 8 came out with The Art of Raw. Then we came out with another compilation album, Creme de la Creme, another compilation album, Lost in the Vault. Roman 8 came back and he dropped an EP. And then the very last one was a mixtape of all my beats that were just sitting in the vault. And I just put like a Tupac verse on it, a Nas verse on it, a Nipsey Hussle verse on it, a Mobb Deep verse on it. And, I just kind of gave that away for free on SoundCloud, which you can look me up. I think that one is just Elite Tactics on SoundCloud, and you'll be able to download that whole project.
Dope. Yeah, man, because it's crazy, like, when you put out work from back then and you still able to see residuals from it today. You know what I'm saying? So, when you that's why it's very important for artists to definitely have their business together, because you never know. You look up, you have a check in the mail for something you created decades ago. You know what I'm saying? 15 years ago. So that's
I just got a royalty check the other day, man. From music that I released way back in the day. I wish it was a bigger check, but I'm still happy.
It's a check nonetheless. All right.
Happy I got a check, man. And it's a trip. When you start looking at the analytics and you see where your supporters come from, a lot of times you would think that the supporters would come from your hometown.
No.
That's not the case.
No.
Wow.
I would have fans, I'm not even lying to you, man, from like the Middle East.
Wow.
South America, Canada, Europe, other parts of the States. And on my second album, the ALX, I had sampled, it was like a Middle Eastern song. And I think that one has the most love I've ever got. And I would have people in foreign languages write me on social media, and I would have to copy and paste what they said into Google Translate to understand it.
Exactly.
And then reply back that way. And it was just a lot of love from that song. And again, you never know where your love's gonna come from, but it's good to know that information. Guys, girls, what age demographics, all that comes into play when you're trying to come up with a plan for your next project and how to cater to those fans, because you want to keep those fans and gain new fans, but you don't want to disappoint your existing fans.
Oh, how did you find out that information with the analytics?
Trial and error, bro. So the distribution company I went
trial and error.
Yes.
Kiddies.
The distribution company I went with, they had a dashboard where you can get all that information.
Wow. Okay.
So you would just log into your account and they'll tell you how much money you got paid for whatever downloads, how many albums sold, what were the singles again, and it's just like a bigger chart that you can look up. And at first I was a little salty when streaming came around, because I would get somebody who streamed a song of mine like 20 times, 50 times, and I got like 10 cents for 100 streams.
It's crazy.
And I was like, boy,
man.
What's
streaming, like, man,
going on here?
Man, we gotta figure this out with these streams. Like,
I got a question for you guys with that in mind. Do you all feel like streaming platforms is predatory for artists?
Good question. I would say in a sense, because like you were saying, you could have someone stream your music hundreds of times and it would only calculate to maybe a couple dollars, if so. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, now if you have access to people that can really like get the ability to stream a lot,
the volume,
thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands, then it may be more profitable. But I think that they should come up with something, or it would look predatory if artists put a music out and they're not seeing residuals because they lack the streaming ability, to generate. What would you say?
With the streaming thing, I think we as the artists who are in the game just need to learn. It's a hustle, and we need to adapt to the new hustle. The days of selling CDs, physical CDs. When was the last time you bought a physical copy of something?
Oh,
CD, record. Oh, yes, sir.
I buy books still.
Okay, but as far as like
music, if I could get my hands on a CD, I'd get it.
But if you could,
so it needs to be presented then.
Yeah.
Pop out your phone or go on your computer, your laptop, and it's about a click of a button. So I say that to say this. This is something that artists need to learn, and a lot of artists become famous overnight, damn near. Like, look at 6ix9ine on SoundCloud. How many SoundCloud artists don't you know are on and popping, and they just started promoting on SoundCloud or whatever? They took advantage of that stream. So there's different avenues in streaming. There's streaming on sites like Spotify, Apple Music,
shout out to
Amazon, but then there's also on YouTube. If you get X amount of YouTube views, they start putting ads on your YouTubes, and you get paid off of that. You got ads on SoundCloud. You have ads on, if you go post your video up on Facebook or Instagram and it has X amount of likes, now you can get a sponsorship deals. So it's on the individual to learn all that business in order for him to make it popular. So
it's a lot of games.
So instead of saying like, yo, this ain't fair, man, nobody buying my CD no more. Well, you know what? I need to figure out if that's not working, I'm still got to eat. So what do I need to do to generate these streams? Do I need to promote more? Do I need to, and the beautiful thing about this day and age, social media, YouTube, a lot of people with knowledge share that for free. What can help?
The how-to.
The how-to.
The how-to.
So it's your job as a student to watch as many of those videos, soak as much knowledge, and again, trial and error, see what works.
Now our last guest, Ryder's aunt, he was on here. Shout out to Riders. His book that he came out with called White Lines.
Nice.
Yeah. And also he came with a baggie, right?
White Lines. No, my bad. Hey, you talk to a Mexican, man. You talk white lines,
I like that. No, seriously. I like that though. Yeah. The white lines or whatever. And I had asked him a question. I was like, "Yo, what was the inspiration behind the title, White Lines?
Right.
Was this the song?" He was like, "No. Reading between the lines and blah blah blah."
Yeah, because when you look at the book, it makes sense the way that he structured it. It's just like a really easy read, but it's like
he said, use one a day and you'd be all right in life.
And Proverbs in the Bible.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
but he came with the baggie, right? And then the baggie, he had the USB drives with his music on there.
Oh, got it.
So he said he got CDs, vinyl, and the USB drives.
Vinyl.
Yeah, and he's hand to hand in it, like, and that fluttered my heart. I was like, oh my god,
those crackles.
Yeah,
vinyl.
Yeah. So I was like amazed, but I'm amazed at both stories, right? You know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah, we gotta get these streams up, and can you dive off into that? Like, how do you get the views though? Like, once you got the views, then you had spit what happens after, but how do you get the views though?
So again, it's I did an interview with Mario Cannon, which is an up and coming artist. Has songs with Twister, has song with Busy Bone. He just did a song with NLE Chopper, and I asked him a similar question. If you go on his YouTube right now, he's got like 1 million views. He has like a 500,000 followers, and I'm like, crazy. Man, like, what words of wisdom can you share with us for any artist trying to get to your level? He said, get with the right marketing team. Marketing. And I kind of stopped and thought about it. And it comes back to investing in yourself. Should I go out and buy a $300 pair of Jordans? Or put those $300 into some marketing, some promotion, and real ones. Now, don't go out and buy like somebody who can get you 100,000 followers overnight, because that's not authentic. That's
not at all.
Genuine. Because when like, let's just say sponsorships, right? Like if I go on Instagram and I have X amount of followers and I have, I'm trying to get a sponsorship deal with somebody.
Right.
The first thing they're gonna look at, okay, what was your last popular comment or that you put on? Right. It had 100,000 views. 3 likes.
Terrible.
1 comment.
That's crazy.
What's that saying about that?
You got a robot working?
Yeah.
So is that sponsor going to invest in you?
No, because it's not organic.
It's not organic. Now, if I got maybe half of those followings, maybe not 100,000, maybe 10,000 views, but I got 100 comments. I got 1,000, 2,000 likes.
Right.
Now, what's that say about my content?
Yeah.
So, and again, it's a whole science, man. People who do that, it's like a full-time job.
Yeah.
You got to know when to post, at what time. You know, it's a whole science.
Yeah.
Hashtags. You got to use all that.
Oh,
you got to make sure to like other people. They might like your it's follow. It's a whole thing, bro.
Wow.
For people who got time for that, salute. Salute, man.
That's a lot.
Well, that's why I guess you need a marketing team.
Yeah.
If you have somebody who solely dedicates their time just for that reason,
right?
It's worth doing business with that.
Yeah.
With that individual of that team.
That's right.
Wow.
Exactly.
Dropping a lot of game here on the Kingpen Crux show with the homie LX DaOne, and we are gonna swing it over to Kingpen right quick.
It's going down right here again. This is the Kingpen Crux show on My Radio Chicago to support this radio network, where it's more than radio. It's myself, Kingpen. We have Crux, and we also have our new. I like the hairdo. I like everything. I like the jogging suit. I love it. I love the whole. Yes. It's going down with our special guest, LX DaOne. You know what I mean? It's going down. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play a song, but before we do, it's the Kingpen Crux show on My Radio Chicago, where's more than radio. Make sure you call in. The call line is 630-465-0229. For all advertisement and business inquiries, call 312-866-6057 or email us at thekingpencruxshow@gmail.com. If you're enjoying the show, you can donate as little as $10 a day. For all donations, cash up us at, that big old $, Kingpen Radio. That's KINGPNRADIO. Visit all social media, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at the Kingpen Crux Show. Download the app, go to supportdistrictradio.com and click at My Radio Chicago promo. My Radio Chicago is a BDS licensed station.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I really got my read on, right? I think that's some radio things.
That was good radio.
Things going on. Is that good radio? Did you like that?
Yes, I give you 2 thumbs up.
Okay. Oh, two
thumbs up and a big toe.
Oh, and I love this guy, I promise you. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play some music right here. It's my man Riders Hunt. All right. The joint is called Sunflower.
Shout out to Riders,
baby. Let's get it. It's the Kingpen Crux Show.
I see you pitching from the curb, hustling for your needs, sipping on brews, spitting sunflower seeds. I see you pitching from the curb, hustling for your needs, sipping on brews, spitting sunflower seeds.
There's too many hustles out here. Scrambling in the streets is so severe. Playing the game, the rules ain't clear. Smoke and mirrors, intense fog out here. Hard to decipher friends from foes out here. Nobody stacking, everybody buying clothes out here. You can never be king without pawns out here. Move with money or enforce fear. Money and power bring respect out here. Wealth is measured by your whips out here. Navigate wisely when you move out here. Your brains is splattered like noodles out here.
I see you pitching from the curb, hustling for your needs, sipping on brews, spitting sunflower seeds. I see you pitching from the curb, hustling for your needs, sipping on brews, spitting sunflower seeds.
Blood shouty, the system throwing everything but the sinking. Due to lack of knowledge and critical thinking. When you catch that case, it's longer than a weekend. These clowns on TV, I fake pretend. Tall tales and legends, stories of ex-felons. Once you get that X, it's hard to excel. You ain't dead until your credit X don't mark the spot. Tap into the talents and gifts that you got. Pass on the blunts and pills that you pop. Get a better connect just to connect the dots. Be smooth when you move, it's piping hot. Hot.
I see you pitching from the curb, hustling for your needs, sipping on brews, spitting sunflower seeds. I see you pitching from the curb, hustling for your needs, sipping on brews, spitting sunflower seeds.
What's up, soldier? You got the heart of a lion, quick to blast fast, known for total iron. Took the oath of an Assassin's Creed. No women, no kids, never scared to do a bid. The flip side is you got a family and kids. The spot where you live, the mob know where it is. You never rattle, never snitching or tattle. Trust me, dude, no one's half the battle. Karma, a motherfucker, and they will touch you. You a threat, cause you built to last. They coming for the safe when they violate your place. You already dead. Two in the head, never the feds. Two in the head, never the feds. Two in the head, never the
I
feds.
see you pitching from the curb, hustling for your needs, sipping on brews, spitting sunflower seeds. Pitching from the curb, hustling for your needs, sipping on brews, spitting sunflower seeds.
Sunflower seeds.
Sunflower Seeds right there by Riders Hunt featuring Lala right there on the vocals right there. Very dope song. It reminds me of some type of Wu-Tang right there, like he Capadonna rapping or something right there. So shout out to him, shout out to Book White Lines, and shout out to our co-host, our lovely co-host over there. I can't wait till she start unfolding, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah. And then
she's chilling. She's just kind of like
I'm observing.
filling it out.
Filling it out. I like that.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I'm
And
a
shout
student too.
Huh?
I'm a student.
Oh my goodness. You know what? IMS is really working up in here because we were having some issues with yeah. We was having some issues with the headphones right there. And guess who just jumped in like hold on, son.
Right.
Hold on, son. We got this right here. And now we got another pair cracking right there. That's that board hopping right there, right?
That's right, man. Board Op 101.
Yeah, man. Easy work, y'all. Easy work. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get right back off into this interview with my main man Crux in the cue cards. Let's get it.
Yeah, Alex the One. Yes, we've been having a dope conversation. I don't even really feel like it's an interview. It's more like a conversation.
Oh, that's what we do.
You know? And we were just talking about the music that you dropped from under the Elite Tactics umbrella. Are these projects still available for the public?
Oh yeah,
to listen to, and where? I know you said SoundCloud is one spot that they can go.
So all my music is man, I think we're like on 30 different streaming platforms, maybe more. That's a good thing about when you go through a distribution company. It could be Frijoles Records, whatever. You know what I'm saying? If they have a streaming platform, boom, they get it. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely on all the big ones: Spotify, Amazon, Apple, you name it, YouTube. Just type in the name of the artist, the name of the label, the name of the album, and you can find all that stuff, man. My solo albums are under Omega O-Mega It's easier either to put the John Doe or ALX, or you could even put Elite Tactics and it'll generate. Type in Elite Tactics and that also generates. But yeah, every major streaming platform. And I was just listening to as an artist, it's funny. I don't know if you do this or not, but as an artist, I don't like listening to my stuff. After I heard it like a million times before I released it.
I'm the same way.
I don't really like going back and listening to it, but I did the other day. I think you had brought up some of the questions, and I was like, let me just go revisit some of that stuff, man. And I was just like, whoa, just a different everything back then.
Yeah, I look at myself in old videos. I'm like, man, who is that guy? You know,
especially one of my favorites.
Yeah,
and he had the braids going on.
Right. Yeah, man, it's a totally different dude.
Oh yeah.
But that's dope, man. All major streaming sites, man. Make sure you go check out the music that's still available now. Omega, the albums, everything is still there. And man, what a wonderful time in hip hop that was.
Beautiful time, bro.
Yes, indeed.
Beautiful time. I think that's how I met you, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you do shows so many times, and you see the same people. Like, man, bro, you following me, man? What's going on, man?
Yeah.
You at right?
What's going on, bro?
You again.
Man, ain't the hip hop police, man. You ain't
Nah. But it was cool because I go back to the Chicago hip hop documentary, like. That was the love that was being formed in the city. Like you saw certain groups at every show. If it's this show, I'd go show up to your show just to support you, vice versa. And that's how you start to network. That's how you start to build. That's how you start to learn. And that's how I got to meet Crux. You know what I'm saying? Years later, look, we're still here. We're still chopping it up, still doing our thing.
Man, he just interviewed me recently. Now I'm interviewing him. So it's a beautiful thing. And also, moving around throughout the city, different parts. Like I'm from out south, over east, he's from northwest, and just man, that connection through the city is very important too, because you don't want to just stay in the same, 8-block radius.
Stay in your bubble, right?
Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope. Man, I know Elite Tactics. You guys built your own music production studio. That's major. We kind of touched on that, but anything else like that whole experience? Did you want to add anything else to that?
You know what? Yeah, absolutely, man. So as a rapper, my name was Omega. As a producer, I wanted to kind of come up with something different, but kind of the same. So I came up with O to the Mega Productions. And the studio was called Mega Man Studios. And it was just a beautiful time. I think I fell in love more with making beats than creating rhymes. And only because in the very beginning, it would take me sometimes like a week, 2 weeks to write a 16-bar verse because it had to be on point.
Wow.
One thing, if you get to know me, I'm a perfectionist, man, and I'm my own worst critic. I beat myself up all the time.
I'm like that too.
And it was just like, man, this verse isn't good enough. It's got to have more rhymes. It's got to have more this. It's got to have more that. And I was just beating myself up. And it got to a point where I stopped writing rhymes. And I would just walk around. People thought I was crazy talking to myself. Just trying to remember it, because when it comes into the booth, I didn't want to be the type of guy that reads it off the paper.
Because it'll sound like it. Unless you like
it
this.
Sounds like you're reading.
It'll sound like you're reading off the paper.
Right. So, but when it came down to making beats, it was just like I let the music lead me to wherever I wanted to go. This soul sample sounds nice. I love this part. Let me add these drums, this bass. Oh, a keyboard. I like how that sounds. Oh, snap. It's just a different thing. It became a little easier to me, and I just kind of fell in love with it. So I think that was one of the main reasons I kind of stopped writing rhymes, and I wanted to really help my people that were under Elite Tactics. I wanted to have them to have their moment in the sun as well. And so I would always make sure that whatever artist I was working with, they had the best of my beats. Like they got to pick. Like, here you go,
That's
shopping
dope.
list, right?
The opposite with Kanye, right? He keeps all the dope shit for himself.
Quick story on Kanye. When I was in Studio Chicago, they used to tell me that he used to come in that studio. There was a lounge area, and he used to sell his beats for $50. And people were like, man, $50? I'm not paying $50 for Kanye. But this is before Kanye was Kanye.
Still, it was dope though.
Right.
The beats was dope though.
I'm sure they were. I never got an opportunity to hear them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we close.
Shout out to Bugs.
closing out the first hour, and I just want to, have that time to really reflect on you as an artist, people that may not have known the history of that. So we kind of have a transitional point now, right? And graduation, what I would consider a graduation from just being an artist to becoming a personality. I understand in early 2022, I understand that you decided to change careers from one thing of sales and pursue a career in media, radio, film, and etc. Can you explain the process for you at that time, almost 2 years ago?
Yeah, so I was in sales for about 9.5 years.
Wow.
And in sales, I'm not gonna lie, I made good money, great money. I was able to buy houses, cars, provide for my family. Beautiful, beautiful thing. But along with all that, and I was also in management and sales. Extra pressure, right? No pressure. No pressure. No pressure. No pressure. No pressure. 2.0.
Oh, pun intended right there. Yeah,
but pressure 2.0. But yeah, man. But it's also very stressful. And it was a lot of time away from my family. Sometimes in 1 month, I would have to be in 3 different states.
Wow.
For like a week sometimes.
Plane hopping,
driving.
Very demanding.
Driving 6 hours, 4 hours, nonstop. Boom, hotel. Boom, suit up. Boom, meeting. Boom, that. Boom, this. It was just a different thing. And there was a point in my life where it was just the cookie was crumbling around me. Like as far as things happen, God really said, "Okay, you're doing too good." Right? You're doing too good. I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench in there and shake you up because there's something else for you.
Right.
And that's what happened. And so it was a kind of it was a time in my life where God shook me up really good. The Lord give it, the Lord take it away. And that's what happened. And I got into this bad, really dark time in my life. A lot of things were happening. And one day I was just sitting, I was just trying to figure out, what do I need to do? The studio had shut down. My recording, and that's what brought me joy and happiness. I had to put it up, I had to put it away. So I'm going crazy thinking, man, how do I keep myself happy? And then one day, God gave me the answer. He said, okay, you like music, right? You like audio, right? You like film, right? You like all of this, right? Well, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to show me how much you like it. And he presented an opportunity. I was just on TikTok, bro, just chilling. I think I was drinking a beer or something like that, smoking a square. And an advertisement came on for IMS.
Yo, I was just about to say that shit. Look, where did you hear the commercial? Because the commercial happened.
It happened.
Right?
It happened.
And then that light bulb goes off like, word? You know what? I'm there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. Thank you, God, for the... No, I'm just kidding. But I saw that and I was like, okay, there's a number or some information for me to, to reach out to him. And the next day, I think somebody called me up. And I was kind of talking myself out of it. Like, nah, I think I was just, feeling myself in that moment. Right. But nah, I was like, you know what do I got to lose?
Y'all story different from mine. I ain't see no advertisements and stuff like that. I think it was one that came on TV at the time.
Oh, well.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, right?
Because we don't even see those anymore.
It's not even on there
for real.
So I acquired, and then it was months before somebody hit me up. And then shout out to Paige. She was my rep, and she kept reaching out to me. It was dead middle of winter, and she's like, "You coming up here? You coming up?" It was a blizzard. I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah,
maybe." She would not leave me alone. I'm so glad she did not leave me alone because it was one of the best experiences.
Yeah, mine was Carly.
Shout out to Boss Lady.
You know what I mean? Carly
+2.
You know, +2. 2 times. Yeah. She's a beast on that phone, right? She's a beast on that phone.
Yeah.
She won't let you go.
Yeah, she took care of you.
Yeah, she did.
She takes care.
She did. Shout out to her.
Yep.
So
yeah. So that was my opportunity, man. And I went there, started doing the courses, and I got to learn a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And man, it's an 8-month program. Finished it, and I was like, you know what? Salute to my cousin Jamie. I see you were watching me live, and Jamie, he can contest to this. I used to be on the phone with him, and I used to be like, man, I started this. I don't know how I feel about it. It's the first month or two. I don't know how I feel about it, but I at least want to finish it.
Right.
And if I finish it and I still feel a certain way, whatever. It's just 8 months. I got to learn some cool things, and I just keep it moving from there. And towards the end of those 8 months is really when things got exciting, and really where the opportunity with radio started to present itself.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
Yeah, toward the end, I can attest to that. Toward the end, it really turns up right there. You know what I mean? When I first went in, they had me do a read, and I listened to it again. I was like, I sucked bad, like really bad. I thought I could read out loud. Like, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, but the more I went along, I became a beast with it. Like, I started doing commercials. I got on with a radio station really quick. You know what I mean? I was like, if you guys want me to keep reading, then I'm gonna need a show. So I started leveraging off that. Hey, Chicago, get ready for the concert of the year. Boy, look, I'm telling you, I went in.
Sold it, bro.
I did, right? Like, so that's what I can say about IMS is like, yo, it turned my radio game way up. Like, I thought I was nice. Nah, not till you get around Stone Pony.
Man.
I never got a chance to work with Stone Pony. I've seen him work, but I never got a chance to work with him. But just mentioning Stone Pony, he's an instructor there.
Yeah.
So one thing I love, I feel like I need to get paid IMS for this.
I'm saying, look, I promise you.
But what I will say about IMS,
IMS infomercial,
right?
Yes,
But what I will say, they had people that worked in the industry, whether it be radio, whether it be in film, and this and that. So you get to learn hands-on by people who've been there, have experience, have walked the walk, and they show
continue to walk the walk.
And they show you what to do. They're not asking the impossible. It's really based on the individual. All you have to do is the work. That's
right.
it. That's it. Right.
Yeah.
And show up.
Yes.
That's it.
And your particular talent will come about. It will shine through.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like I said, we said earlier, Alex interviewed me and Magnificent some years ago, and he already was like, had it. I knew. I'm like, man, it was dope. You know what I'm saying? This is probably about 10 years ago, and I'm like, man, I'm like very professional. You know what I'm saying? And still, able to get across the different dynamic to relate to our people. You know what I'm saying? That come from the walk that we come from. You know what I'm saying? And still keep it. It's a fine line with that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that IMS polished it. You know what I'm saying?
They definitely did, man.
You know what I'm saying? And that was an interesting story. So like, you came to a point where you had to like make a decision. Like, okay, I'm gonna try something that I love.
Yes, and it was almost like do or die for me as well. It's like if I don't do this now, I'll never do it. Because I'm not getting any younger. Every day, opportunities slip away, and I had to really question myself. Like, is this something I want to continue to do? Sales, it stresses me out. I'm away from my family. I'm not happy doing this.
Right.
So you're good at it, but you're not happy.
Right.
Absolutely, man.
Yep.
Terrible.
I can wash the heck out of a car. Doesn't mean I want to wash cars
At all.
Yeah.
So
thanks. Yeah. So you graduated IMS with the highest GPA in November of 2022 and got your first official job that month.
That's right.
Man, that had to be a great feeling.
Yeah, it was very surreal. I didn't believe in myself. Come graduation time, they present you on the stage. They hand you the diploma thing. This is IMS.
The red joint right there.
The red, yeah. And then they give me another document, different color, all shiny. I'm like, what the heck is this? And it said highest GPA, and I've never in my life got that. Like my name and high GPA, they didn't
go together at all.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, like all my teachers, saying gave me A's for real.
I salute you for that because I fell off toward the end. Life started happening real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely, man. I was just, and again, it wasn't anything I did too crazy. It just I showed up, did the work. It's due this day. Okay, I have it for you that day. And then the rest is just me being me. You know what I'm saying? Just when I was at IMS, I was very quiet though. And I was very
days and nights.
Nights.
Okay, yeah.
And I was very quiet for a reason. So people that went to IMS would probably be like, man, he never said no more than 2 words. So when the radio thing kicked off, I stunned them all. Like, what the heck happened? Right. And the reason I did that is number one, I didn't want anybody there to know my background as a rapper, as a producer, as an engineer. I didn't want anybody to know that. I don't know why. Just in my mind, I didn't want that. And number two, I wanted to learn. I wasn't there. I don't mean to sound bogus or nothing, but I wasn't there to be Mr. Popular. None of that. I want to learn what I have to do,
right?
Because this is important to me. I'm investing X amount of money for 8 months, and I'm taking it serious.
Wow, that's dope.
So when it comes down to the radio and they pushed the on button and they heard me, they were like, "Where did he go?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where did he go? You know, this is another guy sitting in this chair. You know, and
yeah, that's a crazy dynamic when you really unpack that, because had they known, like, oh, this guy, you know, he did work with Cuban Link, he got albums, and you know, if they knew that, you were, you know, in the documentary and all of that, you know what I'm saying? It would have been like, man, bro, like now you would have been like, okay, you teach us, you know what I'm saying?
And that, you make a great point, because I went there to be a student, and I wanted to learn as a student. I didn't want to go in there thinking, oh, I already know that's, you know, cocky. I already know this. I already know that. Oh, you're doing this wrong. No. I'm learning something new, even though I kind of know what it is. I'm learning something new, and I'm going to sit down, write my notes, and just do what I have to do until.
Not to mention, sometimes when I'm glad you brought that up, because sometimes when people come in and they put their resume out there on the table, then it kind of automatically gets the rest of your classmates to jump on the bandwagon. I'm working with him, you know, just to make sure that they get better grade, or that they riding and just skating through this whole program, because they're with people that are serious. Like, they're not there to be popular and that kind of stuff. They're serious. And we had a good mix of folks like that in our class too. Like, it was some that was sort of serious. They didn't know what they wanted to do. They was kind of younger. And then you had the older ones that were there, and it was like, yeah, this is what we're doing. And so it was like, okay, well, I'm going to be in a group with them, you know, so they can kind of just relax for the whole,
get an easy grade.
You know what I mean? For that whole, you know, 4 weeks that we was in that class or whatever.
You don't want to be, I already know, you don't want to be with those people when it's time to pair off.
No.
Because they don't bring anything to the project. You know what I'm saying? Like, just sitting there waiting on you to say something. You know what I mean? And so I would steer away from those.
Yeah.
The theys right there. I'd get, if I seen Cortez, I'm definitely on the project with him.
Cortez, man. I just learned his rap name the other day.
Hold on. Did he educate you on it, or
kind of, sort of?
Okay.
We had a brief discussion. I think his name was Jay Dillon Accounts.
Yes. And look, I would say from
west side of Chicago
already. I would always shorten it and say, "Hey, yo, count," because I know a G count. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, "Hey, yo, count." He's like,
not here.
It's the count.
The count. Yep.
Like he does not play with his name, like for real. No, I just had to shout him out.
Good guy, man. Good guy.
Very good guy. Very good guy. Working with Disney. Shout out to him. He's working with Disney now. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congrats to him right there.
Man, so that's dope. Tell us about the podcast. Drop a gem on them.
Yeah.
Drop a gem on them where we talk about knowledge, growth, inspiration, and motivation. Where we find powerful clips off of social media and break down that message. We get deep down in the nitty gritty so we can find that gem. Drop a gem on a podcast. I just put my first episode on Spotify. And salute to Celine of the Media Lounge. She kind of showed me how to do that.
Okay.
But prior to that, I had it on SoundCloud and YouTube. And Drop a Gem on Them was one of the projects I had to do at IMS.
Oh, wow.
It was like an assignment.
Yeah.
And salute to one of the biggest teachers and the biggest motivators for me was one of my instructors. Salute to Fred King of the Hill, former personality at 92.3. Helped me put together the first podcast and encouraged me to continue it after the project was done. Like he pulled me to the side. He's like, you know what? I showed my friend your podcast and he liked it and I liked it. And he's like, I encourage you to continue it after this. And so I did. And it helped a lot with the radio because when I first did it, like you had mentioned, bro, how you were reading and, you know, at the very beginning.
Like the first one it sucked.
Oh, man, I must have did like 1,000 takes of my first podcast of me trying to read stuff and it'd be like,
exactly.
Dang, I almost got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Re-edits and cuts and this and that. And that helped me along with the radio show. I read everything. all my stories, I read them live. I might take a glance at them like 5 minutes before, and I'll just read them live.
Right.
But all that helped me when I was developing my podcast. And Crux can tell you, I come with notes, preparation, the whole nine is key.
Yeah. I watch some of your videos.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I see this happening a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, yeah.
Why it's kept. When I interviewed with him, I'm like, you know what? I borrowed the whole cue card.
Oh yeah,
from.
I think that's dope.
Oh, boy.
You know what? I
got to get credit what credit's due.
You know what's amazing though is that now that we're doing the Kingpen Crux show, I always say like, yo, you don't have to pay the $18,000. You have to pay that bread to get this experience.
I'm the only one here that didn't go to IMS.
But you're at IMS though
for $18,0and.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 18 later. You know what I mean?
I think they bumped it to 20. I don't know.
Jesus. H. Lamont.
Wow. Yeah. So I understand that you also shot music videos, promos, and commercials for other artists and entertainers alike. Is that also a passion of yours? Yeah,
it is. It's a passion of mine, but it's not like my go-to. But I like doing it. Like if you were to come to me and be like, hey, I need a commercial shot, I need a video shot, I look at my schedule. Okay, I can fit you in. And once you get me filming, shouts out to Chucky Vision. He was like the main director for R. Kelly. Shot the music videos.
Here we go.
Crucial Conflict. He told me he was shooting Crucial Conflict when they did Hey. And they had the horse and carriage down the west side.
Yeah.
He was telling me about the whole experience, how he was doing it. But he really encouraged me a lot in the film. He showed me all like his secrets and points and tips. And when I got behind that camera, I had to make sure that no matter what I shot, no matter if it was shaky or whatever, when it comes down to editing it, I had to shine. Like that's just me as a person. I'm competitive. Like me and you are who can fill out the cue card the fastest. I'm gonna win.
Right. So you went Jordan on him. I took it personal.
So he kind of showed me like what to do, and once I start getting into it, like once you start working on it, it's like, man, I don't want to stop until it's done, and I want to make sure that it comes out because my name's on it.
Man,
that's very important.
Yeah, I got to
put your name on
it. And it's not only my name, but the artist's name is on there. So I got to make sure we both look good.
Right.
You know, but it does take a lot of time.
So this is what I want to do before you go dive back off into them cards right there. I want to do a visual, right? I had showed the visual. I found the visual. This is part of my digging process.
Oh, okay.
So we got to show this, and we're gonna have some commentary while it's playing. All right. Let's get it, y'all. This is my main man, LX DaOne, in younger years.
Hell yeah, we coming in now we running it. Hell yeah, we hustle it now, the money flowing it. Yeah, living better, don't feeling lucky. And the haters hate it, but they can't take it from me. Hell yeah, we coming in now we running it. Hell yeah, we hustle it now, the money flowing it. Yeah, living better, don't feeling lucky. And the haters hate it, but they can't take it from me.
I'm Omega, Elite Tactics, you know what I'm saying? Co-founder of Elite Tactics. Representing the Chi-Town Logan Square, like you see right here by the Eagle. Omega Elite Tactics, Logan Square representative. I'm an MC, I'm a, you know what I'm saying, producer, I do it all.
Yo, it's me against the world like Taliban's in Afghanistan. Son of Sam mentality, I'm deafer than jam. Making MCs pee in they pants, I'm somewhat enhanced. To advance for others, for my brothers, they understand.
Good artist, hard worker. Grinding, man. Original.
Dedication. He never falls back. He stay on the grind consistently. So.
Yeah, buddy. Omega. ALX. Elite Tactics. I gotta say it. Oh, no. He don't really got bro. Oh, no. He don't really got hoes. Oh, no. You gotta care what they say. Let's go. Watch it, what you say. Election.
New album called ALX. This is my blood, sweat, and tears, like I say in the intro of the album. I'm so proud of this CD. I really am. This is real talk right here. I'm not bullshitting. It's out. You know what I'm saying? I got it physically in my hand. I think I evolved a lot from the John Doe to the ALX. John Doe proved that, you know, I'm a lyrical cat. If I want to, I can.
How do you feel about seeing that video? Does it bring back memories?
Oh, absolutely, man. It's you know, it's funny that you found that. My son, bro, he's a detective on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And every once in a while he'll be like, hey, he'll just put it on the TV or on his phone or his iPad. And he'll just like, this you. I'm like, yeah, that's me. I'm like, don't turn it off as it has a lot of swears. You know, I turn into an adult, you know what I'm saying?
Like, real quick right there.
But seeing that, it brings back a lot of great memories, a lot of shows, a lot of people who aren't with us anymore. We're in there.
Yeah, J. Trife, man.
J. Trife, rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. And it feels great, bro. It feels great to have. I'm glad I did it because that's something that nobody can ever take away from you.
Man.
Exactly.
Cemented in time.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I'm salty MySpace went down because I had a lot of pics in there I can't never get back.
I'm talking about music.
Tom, I need access, bro.
Contacts.
I tried to go on my MySpace.
Man.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Tom, man. Holla
at your boy. Let me get my stuff back.
Nah, Tom's on a yacht somewhere in the Bahamas. He don't care about us, man.
Chilling.
He came, he saw, he conquered.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So what's the name of your show on Windy City?
So my show is called the Mega Power Hour every Monday and Tuesday from 4 to 5. It can be live with me, Alex DaOne, getting it done. Yo, Latino extraordinaire.
Yeah, baby. Now, who is that co-host of yours?
Well, she's not a co-host.
Okay.
We host together.
Right on.
Together. We just made that official not too long ago. Okay. So Celine is her name of the Media Lounge. Salute to Celine of the Media Lounge. And we went to high school together.
Wow.
And we were always really good friends.
Okay.
All the time. And we always had a passion for music. We would discuss it as we were going down the halls and this and that. Fast forward to maybe earlier this year, we found each other on social media and she was like, oh, you do like radio and podcasts? I was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, you know, you do acting and you do directing. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, man, you know, let's chocolate peanut butter. Let's put it together.
Now
right?
we gotta.
Now you got a Reese's.
And now you got a Reese's, right? So we talked about doing something together. So I invited her over to WindyCityUnderground.com. We shot the first thing where we just talked about hip hop news, general news, you know, this, that, and the other. I think we talked about Alibaba at that time. He got into some trouble, and we talked about that.
Now y'all got really great chemistry. That's a dope.
Thank you
know
very
what I'm saying?
much.
Show that y'all got going on over there. So
thank you very much.
Both you, man, for that right there, I wish she was there when I came.
So the beautiful thing with her and I is we on WindyCityUnderground.com, we try to get together once a month to do that. And she has her own podcast. So I hop on via the phone. And we have one, I'm not going to say the name of them yet, but I'm crossing my fingers. We have an OG legend. When I say legend, platinum selling artist in Chicago. It's not official yet, but we're trying to make that happen. And if that does happen, you'll be the first to know. I promise you that, man.
Blessings.
Exclusive.
I see y'all just had legendary comedian Damon Williams there.
That's right, man. That's right.
That was amazing. I had to watch that. I got replay gang on that one. That was dope.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man. And you know, Damon Williams, legend in comedy. He's in film, and for him to come on WindyCityUnderground.com, he was just like, you know, let's do it. And he was very humble, very cool, man. And I really had to do my research because I have Damon Williams coming. I can't just ask him like, hey, so what's your favorite color? You know, like I really got to sit down and dig into do his research on his history. And I got to learn so much. He shared some stories about Bernie Mac, about Tom Joyner, about the movies he did. Yep, Bernie Mac, rest in peace for sure. And this is it was a great interview for both of us. And I think I was running on fumes that day. Fumes. And I had mentioned to you, every day I wake up at 3:50 in the morning to go to work at the radio station.
Yeah.
And that day I worked until like, I think noon or something like that. And I got a chance to run home, eat something real quick. I took a half-hour power nap and then run to downtown to make sure I get there on time. And of course, as soon as I get there, the equipment's not working, the stream is not working, like and I'm like, no!
Oh my God. We've had to go through that here.
Yeah, man. And I was just like, I chugged that coffee like it was like I was dying in the desert. You know what I'm saying? I was a glass of water. I was and bro, yeah, we made it happen, man.
Dope. That was dope, man. I couldn't tell that all that was going on in the background because, man, you definitely held it down with a legend. So, man, salute. So July of 2023, you officially became the host of your own show, the Mega Power Hour. We just tapped into that.
Right.
Windy City Underground, man, incredible. One thing I learned from this interview, bro, with you is never be afraid or get too comfortable to try something new and learn from trial and error. That has been like a repeated slogan throughout this whole conversation. Right. When you switch careers, you are basically a living testimony to that. How do you feel that you're now doing something that you really love after coming out of that space?
So, how do I feel? I love what I do. Right, like I'll be at work. It doesn't feel like work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm like,
time flies.
I'm getting paid to do this, like for real. Like I used to do this for free.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm getting paid to do it. And something, and I go back to that original time when I first applied or sent the information to IMS. You in your mind sometimes think you're never ready. I'm not ready to do this. I can't do it right now because this is stopping me. That's stopping me. This is stopping me. You're never ready for any of that. But it's up to you as an individual to say, you know what? I'm never going to be ready. So I have no other choice. Just go do it.
You got to do it.
Just go do it. And you know what I'm saying? If it works, great. And if not, you can always say you tried. Right, it's not one of those things where I'm going to be 80 years old dying in my bed. I wish I went to IMS. Like none of that. You know what I'm saying? I did it. Yeah. So how do I feel about that? Like I wish a few things were a little different, but you know, I will say this. Technically, since July, this is technically a year. 1 year I've been in radio. One year. And yeah, man. So all these doors have opened up so far, and I think this is just the beginning. And again, I'm a perfectionist, so I'm gonna make sure every show I get is better than the last. Every interview I do, I make sure I'm better prepared. And make sure I'm going to make that person shine because you're not just coming on the radio with me. I'm also promoting you and my social media. I'm doing videos with you. I'm creating content that is not just available anywhere. I'm giving your fans an exclusive.
Yes, definitely. I just want to chime in right there because when I came on your show, you know, it was like a whole, it was a vibe, like, you know, the promotion, like I saw my numbers go up after that interview.
My man, that's what I'm saying.
The reels from the, you know, that you created with the music backdrop, you know what I'm saying? Very creative. And man, I appreciate that, brother.
Oh,
so,
yeah. I love,
you know, artists tap in, entertainers, period, man. He definitely does his homework and he does an excellent interview.
Thank you, bro.
And yeah, very, very good promotion that come behind it. So I just want to chime in right now.
Well, everybody wins. And we had talked about earlier about how do we get our streams up? We killed two birds with one stone right there.
Yeah.
How did I do that? Because I promoted my thing, right? On my page. You shared it on your page. And at the same time, I had not just any music streaming in the background. I had your music streaming in the background.
Right.
So if you have your music in this, because somehow, some way you have through your distribution, whether it be with whatever company, every single time somebody clicks on there and they hear your music, now you get paid.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
I got 500 views off of that. That's 500 times your song got played that it didn't get played yesterday.
Exactly.
So you helped me out, that helped you out. And that's how we grow together.
Facts.
Exactly.
Facts.
Yeah. And before you get off into any more questions, I'm going to play my favorite Crux joint. I'm not playing with you guys.
Let's pour up, man.
Let's pour up to that right there.
All right.
It's Crux. Let's get it.
There you go.
Music stars from Chicago caught in the crossfire between gangster rap and true life gangbanger reality.
We're going to take you now to Chicago, where this past weekend at least 52 people were shot, 8 of them killed in a wave of violence across the country.
Dreams, hustlers told triple beams. Heavy Chevy spinning blocks, 24 inches TV screens. Don't call them ratchets no more, but these stocks be busting down. Get them a La Marita, a blunt. selling lean. Used to be pitching dope, jack boys, and they were selling green, but that ain't going nowhere. Loud back, an official thing, but what they don't tell you, some spread without the histamines. Used to be gang banging, but now can't even call it that. Now it's blocks against other blocks, beefing on internet, spilled over.
So yeah, how do you feel about that right there?
Man, I look back. That wasn't too long ago, but I still see a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I was in a different space at that time. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Had the braids still.
The braids was cracking right there.
So I said that's about 2014 off. Which mixtape was that? That was the 80s Baby joint. Return to Real Music, 80s Baby Volume 2. So I think that was like my 4th solo.
Yeah, Crux always been on point with the music videos and mixtapes and just consistency.
Appreciate that.
Consistency, bro. Album after album. I think I might have had 8 under my belt. You probably have like 28 under your belt. You know what I'm saying?
No,
you
actually,
just never stop.
Yeah, you know, actually, I say about 8 mixtapes. 3 albums. Yeah. So
damn, man.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Catalog, man. Try to build that catalog. I got one I'm working on, and when I was on your show, LX1, I said, man, I want to come, do the exclusive. You know what I'm saying? I got to come back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Doors are always open, man. And I'm gonna see if I can get Celine on there for you, bro. Right. I know you want to be on there with Celine, but you see what I'm saying? But you already got him coming. You wanted to come. Just because of you, man. Not because they want to hang out with me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's funny. But yeah.
Another Selena. You remind me of a West Side Story. Yeah. It's going down. It is.
Definitely.
Yep.
Hey, man, this is amazing. Tell us how it is being in the position to interview up-and-coming artists, athletes, Hall of Famers, and legendary comedians, just to be in that position.
Wow. So I'm going to tell you the first, I guess, kind of big interview that I did was with a UFC fighter. And I got shouts out to my guy, Jose Contreras. He's the one who kind of put that together. He did the sports channel at IMS. And he was like, hey, man, I got this interview coming with this UFC fighter. Do you want to come out and do the interview with me? He told me this the day before. At 11 o'clock at night. The interview starts at noon.
Now you got to prepare real quick, everything, right?
Quick, man. But hey, man, there's no hill, no mountain I can't climb. I sat down as soon as I got home. Just did my research. Next day I was there. I was just like, okay, I got the questions.
Let's
you got all the questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got all the questions. And I was nervous as heck, bro. Nervous as hell. And but when that mic cracks on, it's like showtime.
Shit get different, don't it?
It's like getting on stage all over again.
And it's just like I go from Alex and I turn into LX. And at the end of the interview, I was like, man, I'm all nervous. Once the microphones turn off, I'm all nervous. And I'm like, man, how'd I do?
Right.
Hey, man, you were good. I was like, man, I was nervous. You couldn't tell. Like, what? Man, I had sweat, in my mind. I'm over here looking bad, but nah, I pulled it off. So the next couple interviews I did, the key is preparation. If you go in there like, I don't know what I'm going to ask him. I don't know nothing about this person. I'm just going to kind of wing it. That's when your nervousness kicks in because you're not prepared. But if I go in there with my cue cards, I know where you were born. I know what your favorite meal is. I know what your mama's favorite meal is. I know all of that. I know your shoe size. I know the whole 9.
Your government name, all that.
All of that. I know I'm ready. I can ask you any question, and I'm in control of the interview. Because at any point I can go here, I can go there, I can go here, I can go there, and the person is just along for the ride. So once you know that you're in control of the interview, there is no fear.
Right. Hey, you hold all the cards.
Literally.
Man. So like I said, I learned a lot just from him interviewing me. So man, definitely.
Oh, by the way, UFC fighter Dan the Determined. Dan the Determine's his name.
Dan the Determined.
UFC fighter.
Dan. Man, just to revisit back into the music space right quick.
Yep.
I personally got a chance to record a song to a O to the Mega Productions track.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh, absolutely.
You said, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
I believe it was a breezy August day.
Very brisk.
So we had I had a feature on there. Shout out to Beats. He LX produced the track. Beats was on there, man. It was a banger too, man. Like
thanks, bro.
That track was. I gotta find it. I know it's in the computer.
You could probably pull up the video. We could pull it up later, but
we figure it out.
But check out how that beat came about, right? So it got to a point where I was working with a specific artist, and they wanted specific beats, a specific style of beats. They wanted more of the hip hop, the samples, the grimy, the gutter, the crackling in the vinyl. That's the kind of beats they made, and I love those beats. But I also love a whole nother side of beats, which is what that song was about. And I would show them these beats. I'd be like, man, I got this style too. Oh yeah, but I want these beats. So I had all these beats that I was like, man, I didn't want to rap anymore. Again, I was trying to do something different. But I was like, man, this beat, whoever I give it to is gonna rock it. And I think it was on Facebook or something. I don't even know how that conversation came about. Something happened. I sent you some info. I was like, hey man, you want to work on something? And I sent you a couple beats. You're like, I want this one. And I'm like, all right, bet. And I do this purposely. I used to do this purposely. I would not send you the full mix down complete. I would send you a version of the mix down because I've heard in the past people steal stuff.
Yeah.
So I made sure I had beat tags all over it, and it wasn't the best quality because I don't want people to be like, well, I would do it, but this is off and this is off, or this is too loud and this is too low, whatever. I would do that on purpose because when they finally purchase it or they finally say they're going to do it, then I send them the real version. Now, here's where Crux came in. Right, Crux got that. I sent him the rough draft version. Man, I don't even think a week later he sent me back the recorded with beads on it. And I was like, whoa, wait, that's not the beat. Let me send you the other version. You know what I'm saying? And I sent him another version, and
I remember that. Yeah,
and he slapped them over, and I was like, but let me mix it down, right? But he was already done. It was already done, and then he sent me like a music video. Oh, that'll happen like in a month. And my team definitely supported that, man. And it was dope, man. It was called Hustlers Anthem Crux featuring Beads, and it was dope, man.
Yeah, that was a dope record, man.
But I love making beats that are like in that style.
Yeah, that beat was fire. So was that just you? Yeah,
I think at that time I just got a new keyboard. I got a rolling keyboard, and I was just experimenting with the different sounds. And I was just like, okay, man, that synth that's in there, that you know what I'm saying? I mean, I must have used that like if you take out my name and just put Crux Beads.
Oh yeah. That beat was amazing. The song came out great.
And what I loved about that, when you hear it in the car, all you hear is that boom.
Yeah, that bass. That bass was
that's what made it.
It was hitting, man. It was smacking. You know, like we said back in the day, it was smacking.
Yes.
So
I didn't even see this one behind the scenes. Okay.
It's like behind the scenes.
Uh-oh.
I love digging. I love digging. But please proceed. Go ahead.
Yeah, but
that was dope. Let me ask you this. So you got you did a feature with Beads on this track, which is huge because right now Beads is doing incredible things for the city.
Yes, absolutely.
I think he just moved out to California. He's doing great things.
He's in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, he's in Arizona. My mistake. I thought he was in California.
Oh, yeah, Arizona. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, so that was major, you know what I'm saying? I got a few joints with B. Actually, you know, we go back to like, man, I grew up with B's pretty much, you know what I'm saying? Like I met him maybe in 1996. We're still teenagers, and he's a little younger than me, so you know, So we kind of been knowing each other for a long time. So we've done a few records together over the years. And man, I really like salute what he's doing and very proud of him. He has like took it to a whole nother level as far as artistry, accomplished a lot of great things. So I just salute the brother. And man, I know they about to drop another project soon. Him and King Nitty, they about to drop a album.
What's the name of it?
Superiority Complex.
Didn't that song get like an award or something?
Oh,
the Hustler's Anthem?
I think so. I
remember seeing it got an award or something. I was like, oh snap.
Yeah. I
really
forget
took
what
off.
award show it was, but it did, yeah. Crux featuring Bees, Hustler's Anthem.
Mm-hmm.
They got an award around that time. I think it was maybe 10 years ago, so.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Man, bring back a lot of memories, man. So, man, let's see. And I pretty much concludes all my questions.
All right.
The co-host, Queenpen, did you have anything?
Because it is actually time for the Queenpen to go ahead and chime in. She's been sitting back like, oh my God. It's double Dutch. Go ahead and jump in.
So, out of all the people that you've actually interviewed, who was your least favorite?
I love them all. I love them all. I love them all because just because maybe somebody doesn't have the same energy or maybe is not as prepared or whatever, it doesn't mean it was a bad interview. You know what I'm saying? We all got to learn something new from them. Maybe they might say the host is too hyper. He's too, this, that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say it's the least because, you know what I'm saying? I heard DMX say one time when he was on the Drink Champs. Do you know where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
And he said, I don't like to call rappers whack because I'm taking food away from their table because those rappers feed X amount of people. So if I'm over here calling him whack, you know what I'm saying? That's going to affect him being able to provide food for his team.
Right.
So he'll never say that about a person. The same way I will never say, oh, this person sucked. Right? Crux, man, he sat there the whole time. He didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? He didn't flex nothing. Nah, I won't never say that. All those interviews are special to me. Everyone from either when I was still learning with other classmates, maybe they were there, they weren't on their point, but that they were learning. That was a beautiful experience for them to see them eventually what they blossomed into.
Right.
So I would never say like, oh, I have a whack one or like, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I wouldn't say that. If anything, I'd be like, every single one was special. Everyone had their moment, their time to shine.
Okay.
Great question, by the way. Great answer.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. So, Kingpen.
Yes, sir. I'm pulling a lot of duties over here.
Yeah, I see you.
Yeah.
You hear a lot of clicks and clacks.
Yeah, clack.
You know.
My goodness. But yeah, what's going on?
Oh, no. Other than that, I asked all my questions. I just got one last one, and that's really to close out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that's basically just, to tell people where and how they could get in tune with you. I think we pretty much put that out there, but, just to reiterate, so people could walk away and be like, man, I want to get in contact with that guy, man. He seems dope. Alex, they won.
Thank you. Well, before I answer that, I just thought of something we talked about in the beginning where you asked me how I came out with my name, originally my rapper name. And I said, if I could talk to my young self, I tell myself not to do that. And I wanted to explain why I said that. We talked about marketing. We talked about how do you get streams? How do you I seen Kingpen right there. He was on Google typing in names. I mean, how do you generate your content?
Thanks for the oop right there. Got me straight to it.
Got you. You know what I'm saying? And so why I bring this up? If you type in Omega right now, 100 different things that are not me are going to pop up.
Right.
Watches are gonna pop up. The logo's gonna pop up. Insurance companies pop up. All of that stuff pops up before me.
So it's like, what can I use that you type in and I pop up? That's why I did the Kingpen Crux show. Bam. I did everything now with the Kingpen Crux show. So if you Google it, that's what's gonna pop up, the Kingpen Crux show.
So that's why I try to put the dash in there, thinking it's gonna be different. That wasn't enough. I tried to do to the mega to make it a little bit more different. That still wasn't enough. So artists, when you're coming up with your name, it's very important. Google what you're trying to be. If it pops up, choose something different. Because at the end of the day, if you can pop up on page 1 on Google, which is pretty much the go-to, Yahoo, MSN, but
it
Google
is the go-to.
The top one.
Yeah.
If you're on page 1, you did your job.
Right.
If you're on page 5, 6, 10,
you
already lost.
You already lost. Wow.
You already lost. So when I came up with my radio name, salute again to Fred, King of the Hill, he really helped me with coming up with my name. At first, I was Lex the One. And then he was like, you know, you should do something with the Lex. You know, I was like, oh yeah, you're right. So LX, Latino extraordinaire.
That's dope.
Separated.
Yeah.
And when he heard me on the podcast, he's like, it's there, but it just needs something. It needs a little bit more. And I came up with that. Shouts out to Fred, King of the Hill. Now, if you pop in LX the One, guess what? I'm on page 1.
Page 1
on Google. Branding, marketing, interviews, all that's very important. So don't go into something blindly. Come up with a game plan. Come up with a strategy. Write down those ideas on paper. Do your research. Because the last thing you want to do is invest X amount of time, X amount of money on a name, and there's like 40 other of yous out there.
Wow.
So now I got a question. It's like, okay, you're Latino, and I know all my Latino friends that I went to grammar school with, they still support me. Right. And I feel like you guys have a better support system.
Yes and no. Yes.
Now, please, can you expound on that?
Absolutely. Yes and no. And I say this to a lot of people all the time. When you first release any amount of content, whether I'm doing a radio show, whether I'm dropping an album, whether anything I do, your day ones are going to support your first project. Maybe.
Speak about
half of them.
Yeah.
When you start releasing 2, 3, 4, when you start doing radio shows 5 times a week, they're gonna miss 1. They're gonna miss 2. They probably won't even listen. Oh, this guy again pops up on my social media feed again. Oh my God. I don't want to hear from him. So what happens is strangers are sometimes your biggest supporters. When somebody loves you for you, that's one thing. When somebody is a fan of yours, it's different.
Mad different.
It's mad different. If I'm a big Nas fan, right? I said Nas's name already like 3-4 times, right? Guess what? I'm always going on YouTube typing in Nas, you know, whatever. I bet you Nas's first cousin or whatever, best friend from 10 years ago probably don't do that.
Right.
Don't even do it.
So the thing about Latinos is it's the same thing as any culture.
Okay.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. With Latinos, man, we have everything. We have English and Spanish. Sometimes you got Portuguese. Sometimes you got, you know, you name it, different languages. You know what I'm saying? Different cultures, different dialects, everything. So not everybody supports the same thing. Right. So I think is if you're true to yourself and true to who the person you are, when you get that fan, that's a real fan.
Right.
So they'll follow you, like you, comments on you. That's your supporter. Try to build something organically versus like, oh, that's my guy Crux. I know he's going to support me. And then get mad at myself because he doesn't.
I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that artists, entrepreneurs, everybody across the board has. They assume that when they have this grand idea and they go out and they're like, yeah, I'm going to take over the world. And then they get back on social media and say, oh, nobody supports me. It's like, yeah, build it up. You have to expose yourself, expose the business enough so that the ones that are really rocking with you authentically can hear you, can see you, can know what you're doing. You know, at the end of the day, nobody owes us nothing, you know. And so I definitely resonate with that.
I learned that the hard way. Don't take things personal.
Oh, I did too.
Don't take it personal. Take the bitter with the sweet.
This guy.
Alex got me in there singing, man. It is my first time in this interview singing some songs, man. I promise you, this is a beautiful thing.
That's a heavy gem, though. You can't take it personal, and it's hard because
it is really hard.
You're passionate about what you're trying to do.
It's an ego check.
Yeah,
man.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's all kind of it's a reality check. It's a self check.
Business is business. Friendship is friendship. Oh, I shared Crux post. He didn't share mine. No, I'm not friends with Crux no more.
Look,
why?
You know how personal it get.
Well, why?
It's online
business. Thing. Maybe I don't know what Crux got going on at the moment. You know what I'm saying? But don't take it. I shared it because I have the love of my heart, not because I expect a share for share.
Right.
And that's the mentality we need to have.
Yeah. I had to understand that. I still struggle with that.
I know once I became abreast on what you do, I'm always liking it now. Like, hold on, what LX doing? You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm like this, y'all.
Like the share king.
I'm so busy focused on the people that is rocking with me. I don't have time to pay attention to the ones that ain't. That's
like
what
that.
it is. So
that's a fact.
You know.
Now before you leave, sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Well, I need you to go ahead and spit a verse.
Oh, that mic's been retired a long
I need you to.
I need long time ago, bro.
To spit a verse. We're not gonna throw in a beat or anything. Just want to hear some of those bars.
Little something.
Because this is a hip hop show. We ask it of everyone. We do. We ask it of everyone.
No, I'm just trying to think in the archive.
I see him wiping off the window.
Oh, yeah. The recesses of my mind. Yes. We ask it of.
I can swear, right? On here?
Yes. Yeah. This is late night radio. I don't want to go through the words, but yes. You can curse.
I might butcher it because this verse is over 10 years old.
Okay.
And I'm trying to remember it off the fly. And if it wasn't for you posting that stuff the other day, I would have never. I just heard. I was like, oh yeah, that verse is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So let me see if I can remember it. See, when I speak, it sounds intelligent. Your shit's irrelevant. We get the heavy metal settled and the peasants get the meddling. We get them militant on the quest for Benjamin, but started trying to snatch a link till it's paying off my dividends. So what I recommend, get your soul like Luther, dope producer, avoid snakes like hair on Medusa. Cause in the future, making hits like Buddha in a hookah barracuda with the ladies practicing my Kama Sutra. My pollution thoughts spark trees and tear your cool apart like 20 socks. I get my Iron Man and make your head depart the Tin Man with no heart. Make classics like Mozart, like Bogart. You're gone with the winter pushing shopping cart. Outsmarted than with strategy. I heard them badly. They playing games like Martin Bradley. I grabbed the faculty because naturally you're gone already like me.
Hey, y'all hear that siren in the background?
Yeah.
So I butchered it at the end.
Shout out to the
10 years, I'm trying to knock the dust off.
Hey, you knocked it off right there. Yeah. Hey, yo, again, to all you bum ass rappers out there. To all you bum ass rappers out there that be coming on shows and don't want to rap. You're a rapper that don't want to rap. I don't get it. And the radio host just bust your ass. Hold on. I said it.
Yeah, that's an old verse.
But you still spit it, and it was
dope.
Yeah.
Dope. Thank you.
I heard that Medusa reference in there.
Avoid snakes like hair on Medusa.
Yeah.
LX the one. Hey, just seeing like the journey for myself, like I say, man, we've been knowing each other for a long time. So to be here on my radio Chicago, man, it's an epic night, epic conversation. I don't even like to say interview at this point.
Yeah, because it's a conversation.
Something like, and man, he just spat some bar. I'm excited. I ain't heard LX spit in years.
But I got excited though. Like, the energy was in there.
The energy was there.
Yeah.
See, the only reason I did it is because I had a sip of coffee and that caffeine.
Okay, the caffeine. Well, caffeine mixed with the Bel Air. You know what I mean? Yeah. All kind of kicked in right there. Look, we super appreciate you coming in, and this is what we gonna do. We're going to play this joint that we was talking about.
Sir.
It's called Hustler's Anthem. Crux featuring Beads right there. Produced by who?
Oh, to the Mega Production.
Come on, let's get it, baby.
This joint right here. It's a Hustler's Anthem. Anybody that ever been through the struggle, climbing their way out. This one's for you. What up, B? Let's make history, homie. I'm going in.
Report live from the city of broad show. Say they sleeping on me, this joint is about a foe. Sleepers for the weak, I rest when it's all over. Gifted, non-collected, hated, but still respected. I'm destined to exceed all the limitations projected. Failure's not an option now, about to pack you out of town. After that Mayweather cheddar minus counterfeit stats. You know them 20s looking funny in the light, but I'm looking in the sky, and the future looking bright. Through my peripheral, I can envision them stormy nights. When shit just wasn't right, living life like a roll of dice. Since 6 to 30 years, might as well have been facing life, but I'm here. Not there, but I'm near. It ain't sweet, but it's fair. Play the game and it's clear. I'm on my grizzly, getting busy till I'm dizzy. This the 3-5 of that loud and the personal kind of rhythm. Focusing on the millie. Woke up in the morning, I got to thank God. And Paul says it's time to go hard. I put on for my city, I put on for my squad. So I gotta stay laced and I gotta stay sharp. So I'm headed to the money, I'm headed to the cash, I'm headed to the moolah. I gotta check the bag, I gotta check the bag, I gotta check the bag. If I don't do nothing else, I'm gonna check the bag.
Out of their element, test my intelligence. Corners I hustle and can't stop my development. My hood in the deficit, back to the elements. I'm chasing that paper, I gotta get it. That's definite. In the room, you an elephant. I'm the fly on the wall. If I recall, I done seen it all. This is reality, I ain't dreaming at all. Chasing that salary so my niggas could ball. Really was after you, niggas was after it. When it was asking you, niggas was after when shit hit the fan. Niggas snitch at the stand. Chop off my hand before I snitch on my man. I take a plan, make it expand. As a youngin', I was right to advance. Turn my struggle to a brand. I'm the $1 million man with $1 million plan. I need $1 million in my hand, nigga.
Woke up in the morning, I got to thank God. And Paul says it's time to go hard. I put on for my city, I put on for my squad. So I gotta stay laced and I gotta stay sharp. So I'm headed to the money, I'm headed to the cash, I'm headed to the moolah.
I'm headed to the cash. Hey, yo, you already know what it is now. The beat, it's very dope.
Thank you, brother.
Sounded like a movie.
Yeah.
Sound like it could have been in like a movie. You know what I'm saying? Or no?
Yeah, like a
Yeah,
soundtrack.
I hear that.
It sound like a
Soundtrack.
Like part in the movie was, you know, the climaxes. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's come like, you know.
Oh, look, hold on. The guy is sitting in the car. He tears is running down his face. he got the banger.
Right.
He's like, and he's finna go shoot the shit out of somebody. Somebody's about to get it. And you hear all this introspection and all of that running through his head. He's crying, he's sweating, and he got the banger, and this is going.
Like you can see that off of
You know what I mean?
that scene with anybody owe me money.
Yo,
painful.
Yeah. So you sound like one of them ball playing niggas right there.
Yeah. Or it could be like a sports type of deal, right? Like they gearing up. You know what I'm saying? They done lost the
like you in the finals,
in
right?
the finals,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They get their practice on doing push-ups.
Right after the halftime speech from the coach and shit.
Right.
Yeah, you about to go back in? Yeah. It's going down. Yeah, man. So yeah, I never heard this song at all. I think it's pretty dope.
You should hear it in
Seriously.
the car.
Right. And let
bass. The bass is what makes it.
And so that's a whole nother question, right? Like, okay, once you make a beat, right? Where do you test it at?
Everywhere.
Because I know Missy Elliott says that soon as she make a beat, she gotta go to the car. Like that's her test right there.
I like to put the earplugs.
Oh, the headphones.
I like to go to the car. I like to go to the studio. I like to go to
the monitors
and put it on the speakers everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
So, like, here's something I learned. You want to listen to it the way everybody else listens to it. Are you listening to it off your phone? Are you listening to it off your computer? Are you listening to it in your car? And it's so regular system or advanced system.
Right.
You got subwoofers, or do you have, just a regular
Just Rago.
Factory
install,
speakers,
right? We used to do it when we used to work at record at National Studios. We had the big monitors with the bass subwoofer pounding, and then we cut the switch off, and we'd have a regular radio.
Yes.
And then we'd hear how it sounded off the radio,
Yeah.
and we do the comparison from there, and that's how we did it.
I think that's really dope because the question popped up because you know what I mean. He was like, "Yo, you should hear it in the, you know what I'm saying, whip." Yo, because I've heard a lot of producers really do that. Like, yo, they gotta go to the car to like test it out or whatever.
Oh, that's
you know what
before it gets mastered. Like when you master CDs, the car is the final test. If it can't pass the car test, you need to go back and tweak.
You need to go back to mixing, right? Mix it a little better before you even get to the master, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a little bit of history there. You got a chance to hear O to the Mega beat with Crux and Bees on it from 9-10 years ago. How dope is that?
Hey, you were spitting right there.
Hey, man.
You were spitting right there.
Yeah, man. That I had to. It was O to the Mega beat.
You were spitting right there.
I had to dive in a different bag. I had Bees on there. I had to get in a different bag.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So Queen Pimp, like, what do you think? What do you think about the joint?
I like it.
Because this is a different set of ears right here.
Yeah.
Female perspective.
I liked it. I imagine, like you were saying, the climax of the movie. I imagine a couple of guys, they was running in the alley trying to get away from somebody because they had stole their money.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so in my head, it was just taking me through this journey of like, okay, what's that?
Something suspenseful.
Like, yeah.
Now you know there's two rappers on there.
Mm-hmm.
One was Crux.
Yep.
He's sitting right here.
Yep.
Shameless plug right there. The beat maker right here.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Beat guy. Yep.
And Beats. Who had the better verse?
Oh, see,
there you go, man.
See,
this guy is.
I liked it all. He complimented the song.
See, I already know LX is going to give you the media training. He's going to give you the correct political answer.
Highest GPA says.
Yes, I get it. And I know Crux is not going to do this on camera. Now, this has nothing to do with being brothers. Now, you know all parties involved.
I do know all.
But I do know, when it comes down to it, I know you'll ask the hard question. So now I ask you the hard question.
You asked me the hard question.
Who had the better verse out of the two verses that you heard?
Play it again for me.
No.
All right. Well, you know what?
You're not gonna do it. You're not gonna.
I will not. I will plead the fifth on this one.
Okay.
As long as she enjoyed
Game can be messy sometimes.
I'm okay with mess. I want to hear it again.
I know, right?
First of all, I couldn't hear it in the speaker in the room.
Okay.
Y'all had headphones on, like yeah.
Jamming.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, what about me?
I
said okay. Well, I'm new, so I'm the bald head stepchild right now. So I'm just gonna just hang over here.
No. Yeah, that's why I have to go over there. It's double dutch. We're double dutching right now, and you have to, once it's going.
Yeah, I'm digging potatoes.
Wait, hold on.
But the whole song, I was digging potatoes, and y'all was over there like.
He's ready. Okay, cool. All right.
They're dipping in the ketchup.
You know what I mean? Shoot, they turning the double dutch. I'm like,
so like beats like that, I do that a lot. When I make instrumentals from keyboards, I like to build them up.
Yeah.
I like the hook to be like.
It's definitely stood out.
So that's better money when you hop on the keyboard instead of sampling.
It's all money. Now, if I'm me who I am, I can make samples. I can get 10,000 likes or streams or whatever, and I'll be okay. But if I'm a Drake and do that, if I don't get that sample cleared, I'm in trouble. Now, if I do something off keyboard, that's all me. That's all me. That's why I think the music game changed a lot because you make more money off the instrumentals.
So I guess that's why we appreciate someone like Traxster.
Don't even get me started on Traxster, man. Traxster.
And shout out to him. He just came out with a project called Chicago.
Wow. I heard it the other day. And I will say this about him. Traxster, dope, respect to him. When Chicago, again, we're talking about sounds. East Coast had a sound, West Coast had a sound. Chicago was still trying to figure out. Traxter, I think, was the genius behind the sound of Chicago for a very long time.
Said that.
He's the one who had the productions for legendary groups like Do or Die, Twister. I don't know if he did something with Crucial Conflict, but I know he did with those two big powerhouses. And when you heard that, you knew who it was.
Chicago. You just knew it was Chicago.
I think he even did something with EC Illa for a while. And if you know who EC Illa is, his style at the time was all hardcore hip hop samples. And when he hooked up with Seawall, you know, and Legendary Traxter, and he produced that album, it was a whole nother sound, and he just sounded incredible. And I was just like, that's what the Traxter will do for you.
Exactly.
That's exactly what he'll do.
So I in hearing it, I was like, okay, you coming up with that joint. I think that sounds like some money. In my opinion, this sounds like some money because you ain't gotta pay no damn samples. Nobody's creeping in your pot.
Yes, but I will say this: it takes more talent, I think, to make a beat off a keyboard than it does off a sample,
like from scratch.
Not to take anything away from it, because producers who know how to work a sample and cut it like a Premiere and all that, and know how to do
for sure.
Okay, all tips, all respect.
My goodness.
But the sloppy samples, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
lazy samples,
like a loop. I do a lot of that because I'm lazy sometimes, but I try to tweak it out to the best of my ability. But like a standard loop or whatever.
And the sample got to make sense.
Yeah.
The sample has to make sense there.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
I'm a fan of samples when they make sense. Unnecessary samples grind my gears. Not gonna lie to you.
Hey, yo, we need some more good hip hop out here, and we have people that are actually doing it. And also, someone that's like Alex the One has this interviewing tactic that I pretty much enjoy, and he's pushed it off on my partner in crime, and I love it. Yes, yes.
With the cards, I know. I'm
proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Appreciate it.
Oh yeah. So this what I want to do before we get out of here. I've been doing a little more digging. Rest in peace to Payroll. Okay. And I gotta show him some love. Let's do it.
I've been rapping way before I was hot 16. See what you talking about. I asked all these hoes if it Kanye. Can you talk that shit with a dick in your mouth?
Yeah. I just got through watching this goof ass shit with these niggas on here, self-made. Look, man, self-made. That shit's it's been a rap, man. It's been a rap. Your fucking label's over with. Stop selling my fucking music. What did you doing, you goofy ass niggas? That shit's old as fuck. Leave Kanye alone. Leave that nigga alone already. Goof ass niggas can't keep trying to talk about that shit. Quit selling my fucking music. If I catch one of you bitches, I'ma snap the shit out you. I ain't getting nobody no permission to do that. Nigga, you gonna get caught, fam, on my mama. Bitch ass niggas. Self-made dick suckers. Yeah, nigga, the city ain't big enough for air, nigga. It's only gonna be one family, nigga. Ain't none of this umbrella.
It was a good tribute. The lesson I'm expressing is everything I'ma be. The legion up in this bitch. Everything would it come with me. Come and visit this gangbanger boogie. Look who back on this function. Payroll on the block and jumping. Bitch niggas ain't popping nothing. Escape for I cock and dump them. You ain't honoring your G. Believe your G is for goofy. While I'm here, you never be. But that, believe they won't shoot me. In my face on my heart. As long as I'm placed in the dark. Under CS ass shit like murder case from enough. Free as I'm never gonna be. Bitch, you never gonna be. Ain't no narcotic liquor or bar, bitch, you would level me. Legion, we are the streets. This ain't keeping it real. We really armed to the teeth. You asleep at the wheel. Killers wanna hack us, switchies wanna back us. Cause we gangsters, not actors. Cause we bangers, not rappers. Lucky we ain't staining you. Lay down, you shout these nights. May it rain on you for 40 days and 40 nights. Pussies in the industry. You thought you had the shot? Say hello to the bad guy. Half broke off. I'm here to drink and get my smoke off. See you niggas posted up, trying to get your poke off. I swear I'll stomp them out. Dump them out, get back, yak, this is what to talk about.
Oh, yo. It's the Kingpen Crux show. I'm already in Chicago to support this radio network where it's more than radio with our special guest, Alex the One, and our new co-host.
Y'all make me feel all warm and fuzzy.
AKA the Queen Pen. What y'all think about that joint right there?
Man, that brought back memories.
Yeah.
You know, we were having a conversation, me and Alex, about that particular situation he was talking about.
Right.
You know,
No cap, I'm not familiar. Y'all enlighten me.
Oh wow.
I like being a little messy.
Well,
Are we out of time?
Payroll, he passed away.
Yeah.
Not that long. Rest in peace to him.
Yeah.
Not that long ago, whatever. And he's the one that made the joint Song Cry, right?
No, Jay-Z Song Cry.
That's the Blueprint album.
Yeah, he like did the hook, bought the beat from Ye, and Ye
Still sold it. He gave it away.
Yeah.
Jay-Z.
Along with the fucking hook and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Man. They didn't pay that man nothing, man.
Oh, well, all right. So the rumor is he got like 10 stacks or something like that or whatever. I personally talked to him. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, no, 4. With the promise that Memphis Bleak gonna get in the joint with him. They gonna kind of push him. You know what I'm saying?
I think what he was saying, like, it's cool. You can keep it. Just hop on a verse with me. He was saying, right? Originally, he was telling Jay-Z, just hop on a verse with me, and that would have been big.
That would have been huge.
Yep.
Yeah, that would have done a lot for his career.
It would have did a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
I can't even say what happened after that. But some other shit transpired, and you know what I'm saying? And it was my song, though. That's all I'm saying. That was my shit. But Jay, I think my shit was a little better, fam. Just be.
So I'm just saying, I'm gonna highlight this brother next week a little bit more because I don't think we should let our people just die and don't talk about them no more or something. You know what I'm saying? Dude got some banging ass music. You know what I'm saying?
Like a tribute.
Yeah. So
he's a dope MC.
Very.
There's a lot of good ones that died.
Yeah. So let's give our shout outs right here. We're gonna start with LX DaOne.
Yes, sir. LX DaOne, getting it done. Yo, Latino extraordinaire. You can follow me all across the board on every major social media platforms. LX DaOne, LXDaone. Make sure to catch me on WindyCityUnderground.com Mondays and Tuesdays from 4 to 5. Yes, sir.
Hold on. Hey, yo. I love when I hear radio, man. I promise you, yes, goosebumps. All right, yo, let's get it.
Yeah, man, I want to first of all, foremost, thank LX DaOne for coming through and blessing the platform. Appreciate it, bro. You already
thank you for real.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I want to appreciate everybody that tuned in. Definitely appreciate Kingpen, BB, Queen Pen, and everybody that will catch the replay game. So, man, until then, we'll catch you next week. Same bat channel, same bat time. Kingpen Crux show.
Yeah.
Queen, let's get it.
So I am the new Queen here at Kingpen Crux Radio.
Yes.
Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram and Facebook at BEBETRANETTE. Make sure you also check me out Saturdays 2 to 5 p.m. Convos in Chicago here at My Radio Chicago. I'm always looking for entrepreneurs. Come and work with me. If you have a brand or an amazing product, let's promote you. Give me a call. Hop in my DMs because I hop in them back.
Yeah. All right.
And before we sign out, man, salute to Shy Blizz, my radio
shout out, baby.
Shout out, Blizzy.
He's actually one of the main guys who believed in me and being on WindyCityUnderground.com. Salute to Eric, was the first person who put me on WindyCityUnderground.com. Salute to Jose. Salute to Chucky Vision, and salute to Fred, King of the Hill. Really, the main guy who helped me come up with my name and helped me establish what it is to be in radio.
Easy work.
I like it. Yeah.
I love it. Hey, yo, it's your man Kingpen. Again, we spell like KINGP and Mr. Grandma Pinner, right? Nice. If you know a girl want to get wet, I got a couple of these hoes need to hydrate, and just a tad bit of advice. Go get a job. And after you get that job, let me be your manager. All right, so this is what we're going to do. Major shout out to my son. He checked in. I saw him in there. Major shout out to you. Oh, man, I love this little guy. Well, little big guy.
Yeah.
I was going to say, he little.
At this point, yeah.
He checking in. It's late.
Yeah. Well, he'll be going into senior year when school starts back.
Okay. Congratulations, man, too. Senior year.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Class of 2024.
My
Who to
goodness.
thunk it?
Who to thunk it's yes. Major shout out to my immediate family. Major shout out to my moms. We love you. We love you, moms. We love you. Keep the needle moving forward. And yo, you can catch us, the Kingpen Crux Show, on all major everything. And yo, shout out to Spotify and iHeart right now for hosting our podcast. Yeah. So now you can go ahead and catch that. Our first episode is Ren Terry right there, and we just gave y'all a little piece. Okay. We'll be putting up a new episode very, very soon, probably tomorrow. And it was Ren spitting. You know what I'm saying? Spitting.
Ren was spitting?
See what I'm saying? On the Kingpen Crux Show, you gotta spit a verse. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
This is dope. It becomes a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Funk Master Flex. I'm sorry, Funk Master Flex. I see you right there, but I'm gonna get people that you wouldn't think gonna be rapping. We gotta spin this a little different. You know what I'm saying? So major shout out to everybody. Major shout out to like you said. Thank you for bringing up Blizz. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He has definitely believed in some people and pushed them forward.
He believed in me. Thank you, Blizzard.
You know what I mean? So shout out to everybody. Shout out to Tinka right there. Randall right there. Shout out to you. Shout out to Carly. Shout out to all the good folks at the Illinois Media School. Dreams can come true. All right. Yo. Before we get out of here, I gotta show my main man LX this right here. Well, and you. We were shooting a video. It was a project right there. Check it out. That was the green screen room right there when we was on state.
Yep.
Word, say word. Yeah, shout out to Roxanne. Shout out to Roxanne. Yo, Roxy, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right. So yeah.
I remember Roxy.
Yeah. Some hey y'all. So yeah. I'm Kingpen, but you know another name I have is Petty Pendergrass. Petty Pendergrass.
Petty Pendergrass.
Where you get that name from?
And if you stay petty, you ain't gotta get petty. Yeah. Petty Pendergrass. And guess what? All night tonight, I did not transform into Petty Pendergrass.
So it's Petty Pendergrass linking up with Petty Betty and
no, that's Petty LaBelle.
Petty LaBelle.
I'm telling you, man, it's going down in here. Okay. We just didn't get petty today.
No.
Tonight, rather.
There was no reason.
No, not because it was so dope.
It was so, it was polished and professional.
Very polished.
It's not that. It's coffee, and I had a monster before.
Okay. Not mad at that. Yeah. Don't forget the Bel Air on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Combine that. Yep.
It's going down. So thank everybody for real for tuning in. I think it's building and we love it. We building organically and it's going down. Shout out to you, LX, for fucking coming through here.
Thanks to you guys, man. Crux, for real. Hey, it's not the last time. This is again only the beginning. Kingpen, bro.
It's going down. And next time you come, you have to bring your host.
Bring your, you said bring your host.
I gotta make a phone call.
Because I can't call a co-host. I was
we host together.
Oh, I thought you said bring your host.
Him. You're already here.
Oh,
hey, so like you got your Kingpen, Queenpen.
Yeah.
Latino extraordinaire. Latina extraordinaire.
It's going.
Right.
Wow,
you have to spread this love. You have to spread this love. Do it. Hey, yo, we checking out, y'all. I really don't want to go, but you know what I mean. We gotta, I guess, give y'all radio back.
3 hours ago.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, we're about 15 minutes over.
Yeah. It happens. It happens. So, again, thank everybody for tuning in. Now you can have your radio back, I guess.
In this world, I like more than checks. Money. All I really want to see is the. I don't really need a D, I need the. All I back need is the. I got bands in the coop, busting out the roof. I got bands in the coop, Touch me, I'll scoop. Shake a little, you get a little bag and take it to the store. Money, get a little cash.